Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the ESFL. We are back with ESFL 162. Brilliant night of fights. The PlayStation Championship is on the line. NM Smudger taking on VuK this evening for the PlayStation title, and it's a very interesting one. Smudger needs to get a title defense to level it up for the title defense points for the title at the end of the season. So I'm Jakey B. Here with me this evening is Kratos. How are you doing this evening, Kratos?
I'm doing great, thank you. Very happy to join you with the stacked card today. Lots of title implications at the top, as well as very interesting fights throughout.
Yeah, you mentioned the title implications at the top, but looking at some of these bottom fights as well, a lot of these guys really fighting for their roles. A lot of these guys really need wins. So having a little look at the fight card here, you've got Tech versus Kratos. I know some of these fights, two Savs, Word Live, Tech, Kratos, I believe there may be some technical issues with these fights at the moment. So we will be hoping to get them fights to you this evening. But even guys like Storm and Bravo, both these guys really need a win. And then some big names, Croden, Romero, Suave, Jamie, GOAT. What do you think of this card?
Yeah, absolutely stacked. There's even other names, EdParker and more. Just absolutely one of the best cards we've had so far this season, and I'm sure it'll live up to the expectations. Looking forward to this first bout we got up between SDK Reaper up against K1 Pug.
Yeah, we will be going in with SDK Reaper taking on K1 Pug. Will be a beautiful fight between these two. SDK Reaper, part of the ESFL staff team, so well known and loved in the community, making his debut here this evening for the ESFL on UFC 5. Already competed in the ESFL numerous times before, but making his debut here on UFC 5. Taking on 1-0 K1 the Pug. Won his ESFL debut against Spooky at ESFL 160. Can you just tell us a little bit about the styles of these guys, Croden?
Yeah, for sure. So we've got an interesting matchup with SDK Reaper being a technical fighter. He's very patient and calculated, and interestingly enough, he's Colby Covington's biggest fan. I've seen recently in real life, Ryan Garcia taught Covington how to throw that left hook, and he'll need it up against K1 Pug, who's a very well-rounded fighter who's comfortable everywhere, uses all aspects of MMA, and he lives and dies by the sword. So definitely going to be a firefight on our hands, and interesting fighter picks. What do you think, JK?
So looking at it, Conor McGregor, obviously a famous pick in the featherweight division, just stellar hands, you know, and I believe that is SDK Reaper, so technical fighter, and as you say, Colby Covington's fan, patient and calculated. That really matches well with this Conor McGregor pick, you know, just the power and the technical prowess that this Conor McGregor brings. And it's looking like we're going to see Ilia Topuria for the Pug, so comfortable everywhere, uses all his aspects of MMA, so that's really just, Ilia Topuria's got to be one of the best balanced fighters in the game, right, Croden? So what do you think for this one? Who do you think is going to take it? What's the method for victory for both of these guys?
Yeah, definitely. You have to see Pug mix up all aspects of MMA. You know, Conor McGregor's very dangerous on the feet, not as good on the ground, and it is SDK Reaper's debut, so a bit of ESFL nerves potentially. He does have prior UFC 4 experience. Getting started.
Touch of gloves to get us underway, and both of these guys just meeting in the middle, a little slip and a rear hook whiffs, and then a rear hook does land for the Pug, and there we see the first takedown attempt landed for the Pug. And do you really think this is going to be the key to victory? You know, utilize the grappling, getting down, work your denials, and who knows, could see a big sub.
Yeah, absolutely. Pug immediately making it clear that this is not just going to be a kickboxing battle, showing Topuria's well-rounded game with the wrestling. And having some nice control with just less than a minute into the round. He got that takedown. Looked good for the judges.
Yeah, and a few transitions early, not being denied from the Conor McGregor pick, and that's going to be worrying, you know, because with top mount being so easy to hold, you can't give up their position so easily. So we've seen that given up by Reaper a couple of times already. And if the Pug can maintain a nice denial there, and if he can maintain getting these big dominant positions and continue to hold him there, like with these big denials, it's going to be very tough for the Reaper to get back into this one.
Yeah, got a denial there, but we have Pug sitting inside saddle right now. Going to be chipping away at that block, even if he can't land damage. This will definitely set him up good sitting for the rest of the fight.
And some Neon Belly Fakes coming here to try and negate that grapple advantage. And we're going for the first sub attempt into the Dash choke. And this can be a very dangerous one, but he does opt to go for the back flat. And he will get this back flat. Will he immediately posture? Doesn't. He's patient. He's waiting for Reaper to move, but he postures up, raining down shots. Really good ground and pound defense to survive there, but still maintaining this very dangerous top position. And into Mount, another sub locked in. And, you know, if you're Reaper here, are you panicking a little bit? You know, you need to stay calm, Kratos, but it could be, you know, nerves could be flying high with the low stam and getting control this easy on the ground.
Yeah, definitely not how you'd like to start a fight, and we see that sub bar chipped away with the first submission there. But he does survive, only round one, still 2 more rounds after this to go, as long as he can survive. So he's definitely still in this fight, just has to stay calm.
So a big sub attempt there, locked in, and that's going to be music to the ears of the Pug Gaming as he gets that pretty easily, really, with no resistance. We do see go into sprawl and another one locked in and no resistance. And if he gets this one, it could be all she wrote. The stam advantage is for the Pug as he strangles away at Conor McGregor. He goes to lock it in. No, goes for back flat again. Flattens him out. Gonna maybe let that stamina regen. Goes into Mount. Stamina absolutely got for Conor McGregor. And we're in Mount.
Just 30 seconds.
Activity. And Kratos, what does he need to do?
He just has to survive at this point. Ooh, big elbow landed there. A bit of a daze there. Another submission. Only 10 seconds left to go. And with the stamina situation, it's possible that he gets it. And he does. Wow. Dominant victory there by the Pug over SDK Reaper. Pug moving on to 2 wins and 0 defeats. Just an amazing performance. How about that?
I mean, that was just beautiful, really. When you talk about performance bonuses, I'm not sure about the structure here if we give away performance bonuses, but that was flawless from the Pug there. Moving to 2-0, just landed that first takedown, and there was nothing really from Reaper. Maybe a lot of nerves, you know, them debuts can be really tough for these guys, but it's really one of them, back to the drawing board, maybe a bit of an easier fight that he wants next time. Someone that's going to sort of stand and trade so we can see that striking and that technical prowess of SDK Reaper, but not tonight, and a brilliant win for K1 the Pug.
Yeah, absolutely. Pug immediately establishing that ground control less than a minute into the fight, making sure to use whatever advantages he had with the Furia over Conor McGregor. And, you know, Reaper just dropping to 0-1. Has a chance, hopefully in the future, to kind of correct this misstep, get the nerves under his belt, and do better in the future. But fantastic performance by Pug. Very dominant.
So, on that basis, moving to 2-0, you know, how far is he away from title contention? He will be wondering, you know. He will be back again next week. Well, in a couple of weeks, sorry, he will be back and taking on another competitor. We do have some word in the back that we are working on bringing you fight number 2, which will be Tech versus Kratos MMA. Kratos AM, sorry. Kratos versus Tech should be a very good fight if we can bring that one to your screen. But yeah, a very big dominant win there for K1 the Pug.
Yeah, and definitely in terms of getting a title shot, may have to do a bit more work because it's very heating up at the top of the division. We have several people, you know, 2-0, 3 wins, going head-to-head later. I'm sure the co-main event is definitely what looks like on paper the title contender bout with the winner of that probably fighting for the belt. Yeah.
Well, like you say, the co-main event, both of them guys 3-0, but that does mean he is only one away from that sort of status. But yeah, 3-0 in that co-main event looks absolutely phenomenal. Treehouse coming off a big submission win against EdParker to earn that #1 contender fight, and B3 Vanio, another guy just looking absolutely flawless this season. None of them losing that O yet, but tonight someone's O will have to go. But yeah, I would say 2-0 now. You know, comes back next week, and with performances like that, he won't be denied for very long, will K1 the Pug. So it will be very interesting to see how that shapes up. So we are going back to Tech versus Kratos 8M. A new camp, I believe this was formed of. 8M, could you tell us a little bit about these two guys, Tech and Kratos?
Yeah, for sure. So we have Tech. He's top 100 ranked player. He's dominant in affiliate leagues. While as Kratos, as you said, is that newly formed 8M camp led by Mellow Copy. Includes the ESFL Season 1 competitors such as Kratos, Treehouse, 11 Bravo, and HostNinja. Kratos is a well-rounded fighter, and he trains in Tree-Jitsu. You got to be careful with his submissions. He also has heavy hands. Of course, we'll see his BJJ coach later on in the co-main, but interesting fighter picks here.
So 2-1 for Tech, 0-1 for Kratos. So like we were saying earlier, big wins needed. Leon Edwards against Michael Venom Page. What do you think of these picks, Crone? What do you think of Michael Venom Page? I know a lot of these guys don't like this jab that you're probably going to see here. You see the fake of the jab. What do you think about these picks?
Interesting. Definitely looks like it'll be a kickboxing affair, though. Leon definitely a more well-rounded fighter. Venom making his UFC debut in real life. To nice performance there against Kevin Holland. Immediately, I was wrong about it being kickboxing. We see they're taken to the ground by Kratos. How about that?
So we're seeing a double leg bow into the pull guard, full sweep into mount, and we are here in mount already. Michael Venom Page in a little bit of trouble early, and this is where it's dangerous. I believe you said Kratos is trained in Tree-Jitsu, so that I believe is something to do with the co-main event of Tree, who is a phenomenal submission artist. So working with these guys on them sort of submissions and ground game is going to be very dangerous here for this Michael Venom Page pick in Tech. But back to his feet, and all good so far.
Yep, and he did even a little finger wag there. Doesn't want to be on the ground. Yeah, key for Tech to keep this on the feet. Mixing up his kicks nicely just 2 minutes into the first round. Oh, nice slip straight there by Kratos.
So both of these guys trying to find their range. A nice combination does land there for Michael Venom Page, and a teep to the body for Kratos. And really just, you see Michael Venom Page using the outside, but another big slip and a big rip there. Gets that big counter window and a nice shot for Kratos. And it's just, again, both of these guys do really need a big win. Straight does land there for Tech, and he's feeling himself, Crodon, with his Michael Venom Page pick, and you know he's looking good, Tech.
Yeah, definitely mixing up the feints here. Very dynamic striker. Ooh, ate an uppercut there. But I do like the emotes, the taunts he's throwing out there. Very apt for the fighter he selected. But ooh, another bit of a stun there by Kratos, who does seem to be having the better of the round, 3 minutes down. Do you have him winning as well?
I mean, it's very close, and with the judging on this game, we know it can be anyone's, but it's them big count windows, right? I'm seeing, you see there, another slip hook and slip into the inside and ripping that big rear hook. And yeah, I would agree so far he does have a slight advantage in this 3-round fight between these two. Looking good, but you know, Tech's looking like he's got some nice setups, some nice fakes. You see him working that jab. And, you know, I respect him for picking this pick, because we all do know Leon Edwards is such a favoured pick. A lot of guys would like to opt for the Kamaru Usman. And with the recent addition to this Michael Venom Page, you got to respect him for bringing it and trying to put on a good performance with it.
Yeah, absolutely. It takes some gusto to go with a pick like that. And it's always nice to see some variety. And we have another little wave there. Almost Daniel Sturridge-esque there, but nice slip hook attempted, landed on the block, with Kratos really maintaining the control of the octagon, pushing a Tech to the black lines on the outside for most of the fight. Final 10 seconds here.
Big 10 seconds in this round, and a lead hook straight drops him.
Wow.
Straight down, gets him into the tie whip, knees to the body, knee to the head, and there's a big round. And we was just talking about who won that round, and do you think Tech just stole it right there?
Yeah, absolutely. Talk about ending the round with a statement. 1-0, then to judging's books right there for Tech's favor. Absolutely essential rock there. And this is going to be playing on Kratos' mind heading into round 2.
Michael Venom Page with the hands of Tech really putting on this showcase with a beautiful, he's landing a lot of these big hooks. You see another big rear hook lands there, and he's just trying to put on a show for the fans. So you have to respect it. Flying knee there, does nothing. Lead hook off of the block into the slip hook. A lot off the block for Kratos. Will be trying to find his way through that. But, you know, Kratos for me was doing a lot of the better work in that round, landing a lot through the block, getting that block down. So as this round does progress, obviously that was a very nice combination from Tech, but does he have the momentum and the prowess to really take this fight like to the end and win it? And it's going to be very interesting. As you see there, a lot coming off the block. Another nice combination lands with a 1-2 lead hook. A lot of these hooks landing off of the block, out of range for Kratos MMA as he does try to walk him down. Leg kick there, slip hook again off the block, and it's just that slip hook for me from Kratos is not landing. He needs to really find his moment with that big 1-2 leg kick, drops him into the neon belly.
Can he get the finish?
Could be cooking. Oh, wow. But he doesn't get the finish, and a big moment there. And this has really been a fight of moments for both of these guys. An absolute beautiful fight so far, Kratos.
Yeah, absolutely. And that work you mentioned that Kratos was doing through Tech's block paid off there, getting the head kick through there. Also, we have both of these competitors. They're damaged a bit with Tech. Little small cut. We have a submission attempt going here. Can Tech secure it? Though a bit of a stamina advantage there for Kratos. You reckon he's safe?
Oh, we're looking here. We're looking at this tree jitsu in full effect, and the sub does get sunk in. So a night full of some very beautiful submissions and a very dominant round so far for Kratos. Has him on the ground, but no denial there. Michael Venom Page will want to get back to his feet. Does manage that. Goes for the backpack. Beautiful denial. This probably will see a break in the position. Does, but a nice hook lands there. And this fight so far has been a beautiful fight, but so far a round of moments. And we see Michael Venom Page have his round in the his moment in the first round. We've just seen Leon Edwards have a massive moment there, so close to finishing the fight. Another slip hook there, and you know, maybe we're going to see this go into the third 1-1 between these two guys, and who can take the final round. Going to be interesting, Crow.
Yeah, and I'm loving the body work both of these competitors are putting in, keeping the stamina relatively even though it dipped into that uppercut right there. Can he get another drop to close out the round? And he does not.
I mean, for me, Michael Venom Page really needs to just limit the damage that he is taking at the moment, get to that stall, get some recovery, get some corner advice from whoever may be in his party, because at the moment Kratos MMA started really well. He did have his big moment, but Kratos has really just kind of been dominating this fight from the start to finish. Looked like he has been landing the better shots. You don't see too many taunts coming out of Michael Venom Page now, do you, Crow?
You do not. Definitely things have heated up, and there's not time to play around with the big kick right there. Just about to end the second round, and like you said, could be 1-1, potentially could even be 2-1, depending on how they favor that first round. Though, yeah, very interesting heading in the third round, and Tech will have to lock in if he doesn't want this fight to slip away from him.
So we are here, third round, no touch of gloves, maybe a little bit of nerves between these two guys, and I think it's going to be interesting who does take this last round. I believe whoever does take it will be the victor. I believe we have a 1-1 situation on our hands, and you know, it's Kratos' I would say to lose. Does have the advantage in the head health department. Stamina for both these guys in a pretty good shape, I would say, for the last round. No one really should worry about gassing themselves out too much, but it's just, you know, 5 minutes to make an impact on your record. Who you got taking it, Croden?
Yeah, definitely the odds for myself leaning towards Kratos, but we have to see. Like you said, stamina is a 3-rounder, so it's not as much of a concern. A little bit of a broken nose there, perhaps from Tech's Venom Page, affecting his recovery throughout the rest of the round. But you know, Kratos in good position to even stall out the round a bit. I have to be careful with it. Mix in that grappling, and like I said, that shoots that double big takedown, but ooh, late denial, and Tech gets back to his feet.
Beautiful late denial there from Tech. Doesn't want to spend the last of this round on his back. And, you know, it's going to be very interesting if none of these guys can get a massive decisive moment in this round. It's going to be interesting to see how the judges do score this last round. But, you know, we do have 3 minutes to work. Both these guys have put on some big combos. You do see there Kratos now, uppercut coming through the block. Probably feels like he's up because he is taking a step back. We've not really seen too many steps back from him. He's looking a little bit more like he's feeling himself this round. So sort of waiting, fakes that slip hook, but big combo coming through there. And it's moments like that that win you fights, Croden. See there, big combination coming through the block. And now he is landing. Michael Venom Page is landing, putting that pressure on. Kratos nervous, ripping the slip hooks, and he gets dropped. Croden with a big hook and the body rock.
This could be it.
Could be winning this fight. Oh, the flying knee whips, but now it's Kratos' turn. Croden, what do you think?
Yeah, I was about to say, Tech is definitely still in the fight, and he showed that now, taking advantage, winning this round so far. Only 2 minutes left to go with the head and body rock. Head kick slips through there for Kratos. Things are very heating up. Both guys meeting in the center of the octagon, just slugging it out. That flying knee, if it landed, it could have been like a cyborg-esque finish there, but just got out of range there for Kratos. Things a bit calm now, but just a minute left to go. You think Kratos can steal the round back?
I mean, you know, he's done a lot of block damage, but he's trying to go for these slip hooks. That's what just got him in trouble. We had a 1-1 situation. He was dominating the round, but I believe Tech. Oh, but there you go. There is that slip hook, and the uppercut comes into the rear hook, and this is going to be such a close round. I still have it, Michael Venom Page, for that big moment, the big body rock. But it's literally all down on these last 40 seconds. Whoever wins this last 40 seconds is probably going to win the fight, and it's going to be very interesting to see how it goes. And 3-piece coming through there a little bit. Oh, the big slip hook drops him into the knee on belly situation. Can Kratos get the finish?
just about. Wow.
Wow,
Do
what a
not,
fight.
yeah. Talk about
What
not
a
leaving
fight.
it in the hands of the judges. Kratos AM there with the third round late TKO over tech. That must have been like 7 seconds left on the clock. I definitely did not want the judges to have to weigh in on that. Amazing.
I mean, that's just a beautiful fight. You know, we've seen from them two guys. They've really gone out there, left it all in. I believe Venom Page had an advantage going into that final minute. And then, you know, Kratos was just never out of it. He just come back there and just absolutely put an absolute lights out for Michael Venom Page. So, absolutely beautiful performance there from them guys. And he's very well-rounded, Kratos. You know, we've seen it there in his fighter profile. He's a well-rounded fighter. He's got that tree jitsu. We did see him lock in a beautiful sub in that second round, and there on his fighter profile, ladies and gentlemen, heavy hands. It says heavy hands, and I think we have just seen the heaviest hands. But 1-3 for Tech now. You know, not the best of records. It's a sort of position you find yourself in, back against the wall, sort of looking where to go next. What do you do next? But I don't think it was a bad performance from Tech. I just feel like, you know, at the end of that last round, maybe should have run away a little bit. Like I say, could have been up in that last round. Maybe should have just sort of tried to just be a bit more defensively sound and win that by decision, take the chance there. But, you know, big win for Kratos there. And moving to 1-on-1. There's no better feeling really when you get that first win on the board.
Yeah, absolutely. And an early contender for fight of the night, I'd say. And with Tech, like you mentioned, he did drop the 3 losses, but what a fun performance. Just a whisker away from winning that. But like you said, if you managed to evade Kratos for the final few seconds and make it to a decision, very well could have seen him making his record all even at 2-2. Hopefully he's around to stay in future events, fun with the taunts in the first round, but it's definitely tough to stay in this roster. A fantastic victory there by Kratos. Never gave up, even though the first round and towards the final seconds of the third round, it looked like the fight was in a precarious position there.
Definitely, I would agree. So we're 2 fights in, and we have seen a performance of the night and a potential fight of the night. 2 brilliant fights. That means we are in for an absolute banging show this evening. And we are now going into fight number 4, which is just none of. When you talk about big names, yeah, and you're talking about big names, I know he's 0-1, but Suave Jamie, honestly, Xbox, PlayStation, he's done it all. Absolutely dominant. This is, he is 0-1. Did take a loss to TK Cryptic, but he is back and he is looking for a big win. And we do know, I commentated him on my show last night over the Nugs Esports Championship in the main event against Easy Work GG, where they had a best of 3 set. Suave Jamie won that 2-1. The guy just has it all. He has wrestling, he has striking, and funny enough, he actually used Michael Venom Page. Just a very, very good player, and the star power this card does have this evening is immense. And we are going to see Suave Jamie taking on NM Psycho Shark. 1-0, did win his ESFL debut against Kahan. He makes his adjustments quickly, can adapt to any style, which he will need to do this evening against Suave Jamie. And he is comfortable in all aspects of MMA. As we do know, Jamie is a very dominant wrestler. But if you're NM Psycho Shark, what do you think it means to him if he could get a big name like Suave Jamie on his resume card?
Yeah, that'll be an absolutely massive scalp to add to his accolades. We see the fight. It's going to be contested at lightweight here, with NM Psycho Shark going as Charles Oliveira, while Suave Jamie is Islam Makhachev, which is an apt pick. I've seen him mention how he's very comfortable with that. And interesting, you know, only the 1 fight, this being the 2nd fight for Suave Jamie. Bit of inactivity in the ESFL League, while others have already racked up 5 fights. And that may have a bit to do with the state of the game, but with the updates, the game slowly improving, and we're definitely underway with a touch of gloves.
So a good counter pick there from Psycho Shark, picking up that Charles Oliveira pick, but will it be enough to hold off the force that is Suave Jamie? We do know, we have seen many a times on the ESFL that his grappling is just so dominant, and some of the positions he can put you in is just impossible to escape, and it's almost inhuman-like the way he can control you on the mat. But for picks, Charles Oliveira is definitely the pick you would probably opt for against this sort of Islam Makhachev pick. He is just regarded as the best lightweight in terms of even striking. So, you know, it's going to be tough for Psycho Shark, but if anyone can get it done, you know, Psycho Shark already 1-0, beat Kahan at ESFL 160. So, but if he can get this done with this Charles Oliveira pick, very impressive, and it'd be a very, very good one to take back to NM.
Yeah, and kick heavy in the first minute and a half by both men here. But just relatively even so far, though a bit of chipping away of the block and head health of Psycho there. Suave liking those body uppercuts. Those can add up by the end of the fight.
Yeah, and we do see here Suave Jamie not shooting a takedown as of yet. Capture the leg, walks him to the cage, head kick comes off the block. And that's the thing, that's the beauty with this Islam Makhachev pick. Like, you go Islam, and a lot of guys are thinking, oh, he's just going to wrestle me. But no, bro. Islam Makhachev has power in those hands, hits like an absolute truck, and you're seeing that so far. Suave Jamie with a slight head health advantage, but oh, what a big slip there, rip to the body for Psycho Shark, and that is nice. And to be fair, that's a good game plan against this Islam pick. You do want to kind of get the stamina advantage on Suave Jamie. So when he is up in the later rounds, he can't just take you down and control you to just, you know, secure the win, as in the name, secure the win, Jamie. So far, so good for the first 3 minutes of round number 1, and a lead hook straight coming off of the block. And a lot of block work here, Croden. And so far in his first round, who do you sort of think has the advantage?
You have to slightly give it to NM Psycho just based on what we've seen with that stun, but Jamie's in very good shape. Ooh, beautiful, another stun right there. But Jamie's still in this with that head health of Psycho going down. But Psycho have to be safe for the rest of the round. Be careful, beautiful lead hook to rear body hook right there. And both these men playing it relatively safe, just 2 to 3 piece combinations.
Ooh, what a big moment from Suave Jamie, as he gets a big rock there and probably steals around. And like you just said there, Best Croden, you know, he's really working his head health, does have this head health advantage. Oliveira, he's picking up some nice counters. We did see a moment ago a little fake single into the upwards moving elbow. Nothing really landed on that, but he has had the better counter shots. But this forward pressure of Suave Jamie, just getting through the block and just tearing the head off. Psycho shot, but never mind, another big rock. And he's coming forward, double jab into the uppercut. Drop,
and he gets a drop.
Suave Jamie is down, feet on hips moment from Psycho Shark. Suave Jamie's back to his feet, but big moment for Psycho Shark in this round. Do you think he just stole it back, Croden?
For sure, only 3 seconds left, and I think it's pretty safe to say 10-9 for Psycho Shark in a back and forth round there. Crazy there, you know, 1 stun apiece on the scorecards, but that drop definitely sealed it for Psycho. And it's a very close fight. Interesting to see how this plays out in the second round. Will we see Jamie shoot a takedown or continue to keep building off of that head health advantage? Ooh, beautiful lead hook there on his way down.
Suave Jamie does have seemingly the striking advantage, as he is just walking forward. Big shots, but you do see there, one mistake can change it all. And a big moment there for Psycho Shark in that round. Do believe he is 1-0 up. Will we see Suave Jamie opt to go back to the wrestling that we do know he is famous for? Or will he continue to just try and just get through the block of Psycho Shark? It's going to be a very interesting second round here as they come out, glove looking to be up for both gentlemen, and it is. And a touch of gloves, show of respect for a very brilliant contested first round. And a shot there, straight on the single leg. Psycho Shark wise to it. And a nice denial, and we are here back on the feet, and a fake single into the lead up, into the elbow. Oh, and the knee rocks the head, and that's a very interesting take. Oh, wow. Got back from Suave Jamie, and he's coming in with a jab rear hook, and elbows coming out, and Croden, we have an absolute firefight.
Yeah, interesting. At the beginning of the round, both of these men shot a takedown, or at least showed it to their opponent, get them thinking of other things, but exchanging rocks there, key cancellation on that punch there, otherwise he could have gotten countered right there. But crazy heading into the final 4 minutes of the second round, and it's anyone's fight at this moment.
Yeah, so far just a brilliant contested fight between these two. Stuns apiece, drops apiece, rocks apiece, takedowns attempted, takedowns denied. We have contested it on the feet, and you do see that a lot in real life, right? With these grapplers, when 2 grapplers come and meet, you do see there another takedown denied. When 2 grapplers do meet, it often leads to just an all-out striking battle, right? Because they sort of cancel each other out, which we are kind of seeing with both of these guys. Both of them have opted for the grappler, and both of these guys are wise to it and have very good takedown defense. But so far, this is just being an absolute dogfight as a jab lands off the block. And we're looking at front kicks, lead hook there. And, you know, I couldn't really call this one through the middle. And another big rock from Suave Jamie and a spear. And that's what he needed to get him down. And this is where we'll see Jamie do his best work, Croden.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. As I was saying, as you mentioned at the beginning of the fight, Jamie has crazy reaction time. You do not want to get stuck under him, and that is a fate that the Psycho Shark is doing his best to avoid with a denial there.
And he is here. We are in side control, probably the most famous position for Suave Jamie. Stamina advantage for Psycho Shock, but if Suave Jamie can really control the rest of this round, you know, it can put him in a pole position to steal this round back. It's going to be very interesting as he does move over to backside. What's going to be the transition of choice? We look for back sitting and a very nice denial from Psycho Shock. Psycho Shock doing very well. Has some very good denials. That is often a very tough denial. A lot of people don't expect you to go for that transition. They really expect you to take the back or something, and he looks to grab the leg there, doesn't get it. Will Suave Jamie transition out? It's going to be hard if he opts for a power transition because of the stamina situation on Suave Jamie. We do see him get up there and a re-trip from Psycho Shock. Now Psycho Shock has top position.
Interesting, you might have expected Psycho to want to break away, get back to the striking, but no, unexpected, gets his own trip. 30 seconds to go in the second round. Kimura attempt there, denied there. And now Psycho Shark, we'll see if he's able to secure it. And pretty hard to call this round, you know. I'm a bit lost on who the judges will give this one to.
It's a very interesting round as we come there to the klaxon. We'll have a little quick look at the stat, and we do see there just very, very close fight. I'm sort of edging it slowly to Psycho Shark. I believe he's just done that a little bit more. Suave Jamie didn't really get much going on the ground. So maybe Psycho Shark could be 2-0 or 1-0. Definitely won that first round. Very close second round there. Big moment there. You see in the highlight, big rear hook lands from the Islam Makhachev pick in the hands of Suave Jamie. And, you know, these fights so far just have not disappointed. We are going into another third round where it is all on the line. Yeah, I think we'll say that is a 1-1 situation. Suave Jamie with the extra stun there did hit a big spear. We'll go 1-1 on the unofficial scorecards for this one. Touch of gloves in the third, but regardless of the second round score, we are here still in the third round, and there is a lot to be left in this fight. Neither of these guys are just going to be happy and settled for the score. You know, Suave Jamie has to think he could be down to, or he definitely needs to win this round. Same with Charles Oliveira, could feel like he lost that last one. So neither of these guys are going to be content with that second round. And a teep to the body follows from Psycho Shark. 3-piece coming from Suave Jamie, just slightly out of range. Jab into the lead hook, both of the hooks ghosting. And then another lead hook off the block and a big hook there. And a spear attempt and a beautiful takedown from Psycho Shark. And this is very big for him in this fight, Cronin.
Yeah, fantastic denial there by Suave Jamie, but you know, very early in the round, gets the daze and the takedown, kind of a parallel to round 2 where Jamie had that rock into the spear. Very good shape for Psycho Shark, but a close fight. Both these men just double and triple jabbing away at each other. Very technical bout. Ooh! Massive head kick.
Jamie with his own moment, but beautiful there from Shark to not get taken down in that situation, but again, this just really flips around on his head and Suave Jamie is through the block. And every 3-piece is just seeping through to the head damage. And Psycho Shark does have to be careful because his block and his head health is looking rather low. But Suave Jamie's also very low, as we see there. Big combos, double hooks coming forward from Psycho Shark. Both of these guys really need this win. Psycho Shark will move to 2-0 if he can secure this win. And not just 2-0, he will have a win over Suave Jamie in the ESFL. And you know, on UFC 4, nobody could say that. You know, goes absolutely undefeated. And Suave Jamie, you know, goes to 0-2. We've never really seen him in that position if he does lose this one. So, you know, a must-win for both these guys.
Yeah, we very well might see secure the win. Jamie appear here in the final 2 minutes, and he's in good shape. I believe round 2 and so far round 3 are in his favor, but anything can happen with their block health and head health being as low as they are. Ooh, another beautiful hooks, and he drops him.
And a big drop from Suave Jamie, and Suave Jamie will now definitely be up in this round, so that makes this second round that just happened very important. But Suave Jamie, will he feel like he does need to get him out here, or will Suave Jamie be content on them 2 stuns, that extra stun that he had? And he's looking like he is, because he does shoot for that quick single, and a very nice denial from Psycho Shark. Ooh, and a body rock from Psycho Shark.
A minute to go. Can Psycho capitalize on this late shift in momentum? And beautiful defensive grappling shown by Psycho throughout this fight, even when he's been rocked, getting some key denials off. Very close bout.
And a very, very important 30 seconds for both of these guys. Is Suave Jamie winning? Is Oliveira winning with NM Psycho Shark? Who knows? Both of them looking to leave it out, both throwing big combos. Either one of these needs a stun. If anyone gets a stun, I'm going to say they win it. Oh my God, oh my God. Bring your bikinis, ladies and gentlemen, because we got Jamie gets a rock at the end, and I think that might have just won him the fight.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with there, but it's very close. Man, crazy. He was glued to the screen there for the final few seconds. Didn't want to blink. Anything could have happened. And as we see, secure the win, Jamie. Moving on to 1-1, evening out his record. Fantastic bout there. Talk about back and forth slugfest.
Crazy. Oh, actually, 30-27. So everything we said, rewind it. It didn't matter. Suave Jamie was up by a country mile, chat. Oh no, the first round of 10-10 there on both scorecards, which is very interesting. I did feel like Psycho Shark did take that first round definitely. So a 10-10 for that first round on two of the judges' scorecards was very interesting. Suave Jamie, so we could have potentially even seen a draw in that match, which would have been very interesting and probably very frustrating for both of them guys. But I believe that rock right at the end did secure it for Suave Jamie, and just a beautiful performance.
Yeah, absolutely. Secured that win with that final daze. And interesting how the judges saw it as a draw. You know, personally, I think it's a bit too common in this game. In real life, they're practically unheard of. But fantastic bout. Psycho dropping to 1-1. But even with the loss, I feel he did a very good showing and definitely proved he belonged in that octagon there with the great Suave Jamie, who's now 1-1.
Yeah, so both of them guys with that win and that loss respectively both moved to 1-1. Will they see each other again maybe in this season after that very closely contested bout? Who knows? We'll have to see. But yeah, Psycho Shark won't beat himself up too much. You know, if he goes back and watches that fight, you know, he was doing good work, and on another day he could win that. But, you know, big win there for Suave Jamie, moving to 1-1. And, you know, if you're above Suave Jamie in the rankings, you're going to start to feel a little bit nervous, you know, because he's got his first win. He's climbing up the rankings now. He's coming up, and there's no doubt we'll probably see him at some point this season competing for the title.
I definitely agreed. And we'll see Jamie claw his way up the rankings, disposing of some people, throwing them to the bottom. And it'll be interesting to see how the matchmakers match him with in the next fight, because if you match him up with someone coming off of a loss, it could be a very tough, you know, a tough pill to swallow going up against Suave Jamie.
Yeah, so that will be very interesting in the future to see how Suave Jamie does continue to run on, and a lot of these guys moving up the card. You know, you see these guys like EdParker. Will he see Suave Jamie next if he takes a loss? You know, a lot of these guys go versus Suave Jamie. I believe that was at ESFL 100 or ESFL 150 main event, a big one. You know, so to see these guys maybe match up will be very interesting. But looking at this next fight, I believe a word from the back is there is a pullout. I believe we have SDK Matador taking the reins in this one against Bravo. Also part of that AM fight. He left Hit Squad, joined AM, defeated Spooky ESFL 158 and lost to TK Cryptic at 152. He has suffocating top game. He is a submission artist at his best and a counter striker. So it's going to be interesting to see 11 Bravo. But SDK Matador, I don't really know too much about him, but you know, that SDK camp, very dangerous in their own right. So this one, Croden, going to be a very interesting match. And I believe I'm seeing two Leon Edwards on my screen at the moment. But obviously no mirror matches between these guys. So what will be the choice? 11 Bravo, Shavkat Rachmanov. Do you think that suits his suffocating top game and his submission prowess?
Absolutely. You know, Bravo is a bit of a veteran's veteran, been in the game for a long time. And while he has improved his striking, his main bread and butter has been the grappling round. Interesting to see how he'll adapt to UFC 5's more dynamic submission system. But Matador will be playing the Matador and trying to avoid those bull rush takedowns of Bravo. Interesting. Leon Edwards, Shavkat Rachmanov. And this could be a fight we see in real life, but heading into this, a lot of questions to be answered. Bravo entering this bout 1-1. We'll see if he's able to move into a more positive direction, or if Matador will get a win over a reputable name in the community.
I mean, you know, he did lose to TK Cryptic, who is a very good competitor. So it's not a loss to beat yourself up about. And he did get a good win against Spooky. So it's going to be interesting, you know, change of opponent, but will it be a change of style? Don't think it will be. You do see the single leg land early already for him, and that's one of these things, you know, when you're a grappler, your game plan doesn't change. You know, your game plan doesn't change at all. You come out and, you know, if you're fighting, for example, EdParker, you'd come out and you think, right, he's going to be patient, he's going to throw teeps, and if you're striking, you sort of have to adjust your game style around that. But when you're a grappler, it's like, bro, I'm going out there, I'm going to take him down, and I'm going to sub him. And this is what we're seeing early from this Rachmanov pick, really just showing his hand and showing what he wants to do with this Matador.
Yeah, very well said. As the grappler, you dictate where the bout will be taking place, and right now it's taking place inside control, and very patient by Bravo, just attempting transition. You see a little elbow there, but taking his time, you know, position over damage or submission so far. 3 minutes to go, and very good position for this to shape up to be a classic Bravo fight.
Yeah, and he has looked very dominant in his past ESFL matchups. Has always been a very good grappler. Does pass to Mount and a big elbow there, and that will be a stun. They are very strong, them elbows. Do need to watch double straight, triple straight, quad straight, hook into another straight, and another big elbow and another big rod.
Wow, beautifully.
And in trouble here.
Those elbows are beautiful by Bravo, making sure to break through the block and then landing them for big damage. 2 minutes to go, and you know, dominant performance so far for Bravo, but early days. We'll see if Matador is able to get back to his feet, get a reversal going perhaps, and we'll see Bravo just continuing to chip away with his patient style.
You know, it's really tough. You go, okay, I'll take the short notice fight, I'll take the replacement fight, and then you go in there, and then this is what happens. He takes you down and he punches your head in. He punches your head so hard it leaves a mark on the canvas, and so far so good for 11 Bravo as he passes the mount again, and Edwards is just like, what do I even do? Why did I even do this? And so far, just maybe not enough prep. You know, that's another thing as well. Like we say, 11 Bravo's camp prepping for Storm has been all this grappling and all this training, this submissions, what he's been doing for so long. And he said, and then Matador's come in and he said, you know what, I'll take this fight on short notice, but he hasn't had time to just drill the constant takedowns that you need for this style. And so far, just, I'm going to go out on a limb, maybe even a 10-8.
Yeah, it wouldn't be too bold of a take to say 10-8 there, with not much offered from Matador, stuck on his back pretty much the entirety of the round. Just continuous, overwhelming pressure from Bravo. Interestingly enough, not too much of a stamina difference, but dominant round. Beautiful use of the elbows. Definitely in Bravo's favor, but 10-9, 10-8, we'll have to see.
So it will be very interesting to see at the end if that was indeed a 10-8. But regardless, I think we do all know who did win that round, and it will be that Shavkat Rachmanov pick. And it's interesting, you know, obviously he does say in his style, his fighter profile, that he is a submission artist. And it's interesting, off of these rocks from Mount, he has not really gone for like an armbar or anything, you know, just really, like you said early in the fight, opting for damage. Over these threatening submissions, you know, and then a fake single leg there. But every round does start on the feet, you know. Matador is still not out of this fight. Does rip there to the body, but clinch into the tie whip, looks to walk him up against the cage. Big knees, does get him up against the cage, and this is where we see if Matador goes down, is it going to be a long night?
And he does secure the takedown. Yeah, and that was a beautiful setup there. Feinted the takedown, went up to the clinch, reminded me of UFC 3 bit there. Beautiful. Even now he's back into full guard, and this is exactly where Bravo wants to be. But from Matador, talk about a hit to your psyche. You know, this is very disappointing. What, he gets back to his feet,
and that's going to be very, very big in the terms of this fight if STK Matador can get it done, because he is looking loose in there, Cronin. He is looking loose. He's landing big, and we do see that big spinning body kick does land, but Leon Edwards landing some good shots here, and if he can keep this one on the feet, who knows? You know, I feel like at the minute he could be winning this round.
And not too much accomplished there in the grappling sequence, but another clinch. Oh, nice key denial there, with Matador maintaining control of the center of the octagon. Bravo does have the head health advantage, but that came from those the groundwork, those elbows that he landed. So definitely on the fight, on the feet, it's a lot more even. And I'd say Matador actually has the advantage here with his technicality.
beautiful quick single there does get him onto his back. But even then, we was just talking about the potentiality of a 10-8. Back to his feet again. 11 Bravo struggling to hold this top position now, which is very interesting. But even then, if it was a 10-8, if Matador doesn't finish him, the best he's looking at here is probably a draw. So it's going to be very interesting to see if Matador does win these next 2 rounds, how it will opt on the judges' scorecards. But there you see a little kick of the leg into the clinch, some knees coming, standing guillotine, drops into Bull's guard. And this is where we are seeing the fighter profile speak some truth of his submission artist game, but back to the feet already for Matador.
Oh, nice overhand there, landed by Bravo. But, got on there. This could be dangerous, and he's dropped. 30 seconds left to go in round 2. Big suplex, slams his back down. We'll see if he's able to land a few elbows, but definitely must have secured the round with that. And we talked about potential 10-8 in the first round, even if it's a 10-9. Bravo, a fantastic performance. But up until then, Matador was showcasing some nice defensive grappling, some anti-wrestling, and the round ends right there with Bravo in top mount.
So, like you said there perfectly, that will be minimum guaranteed 2 rounds in the books for Bravo there, with a beautiful drop at the end of that round to secure that. So it could be looking at 2 rounds down, and Matador really needs a finish. You know, it's tough. He's took this fight on short notice. Really needs a finish going into this 3rd round. Going to have to get really aggressive. That does leave you open to some big high damage counters if you're just throwing these big combos. But you know, if you're Matador, Croden, what do you do in this situation?
You know, it's very tough because you want to be able to let your hands loose, though you have a couple factors to consider. 1, your head health is a lot lower because of all the action that preceded this point, and 2, that takedown threat is going to be playing a big toll, and you see it right there. Beautiful takedown feint into the elbows. Wow, another one. Bravo using some of the best takedown feints I've seen in this whole game, to be honest.
So beautiful takedown feints, that jab into the quick single, into the elbow, and then that's where he's trying to mix it up into the takedown, and a big takedown there. Gets that one, does roll into the backside, and you know, it's just a very important 3 minutes for 11 Bravo. If he can just hold him down here, it will be a spectacular performance, a spectacular win for him as he does pass into the back mount. Nice denial there from Leon Edwards, and Matador drags back down on the get up, and 3 minutes to work here. But still looking to cause a lot of damage is 11 Bravo. You know, he's not just playing wet blanket. He's not just sitting here and trying to ride out time. He's really just trying to put him out there.
Absolutely. He's looking to get some damage there, and we might even see further stuns and rocks, and like I said, a little mini one right there. But half guard for Matador with 2.5 minutes to go. But he needs something big to turn this fight around in his favor. Not just a couple rocks. He probably needs a finish. How about that, JT?
Yeah, there's no way he's really going to win this on a decision, no matter what he does. Even if he gets up and drops him 10 times and gets a 10-8 himself, I believe this fight is far too gone for any sort of situation like that. He needs to get to his feet like he has just done there, and now Matador needs to show that that Diablo-esque. Oh, another big rock, and he needs to just and a big drop from Shavkat Rakhmonov, and 11 Bravo drops him and continues to push his head through the canvas, and the ref says stop. Leon Edwards has had enough, and 11 Bravo moves to 2-1. Positive record for him, and yeah, a very big win there for him.
Yep, the Nomad moving his fists through Leon Edwards' face right there, and the 2-1, as you said, for Bravo, while Matador loses this short notice replacement bout. You know, can't hang his head too much, but it's very tough out to go up against someone as formidable in grappling as Bravo, and tough. He didn't really get to do much on the feet as he wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, you know, it's tough. You come in, and if you haven't got your own scouting report on 11 Bravo, you're not really knowing what to expect. You pick up that Leon Edwards pick and you come out and start getting grappled, and you know, you lose your head early and it's tough, and then you know, after 5 minutes you feel like you're chasing the fight massively, leaving yourself open for them big counters like we see there. Even though the wrestling was sublime from 11 Bravo, we still see there a big drop from the overhand, dropping him into full guard and then finishing it that way, you know, because it's making him drop his hands. You don't want to get taken back down. So you know, it really opens the opportunities for the striking for 11 Bravo. So really just a beautiful game plan. But like you say, Matador can't hang his head. You know, we appreciate the guys that do fill in on late notice, covering for the guys that do have important stuff that does come up. So, you know, big shout out to Matador for coming into that one, and I hope that he gets back in there and gets himself a win sometime soon. So,
absolutely,
I'm lucky to him.
Yeah, and the AM camp moving to 2-0 on the night, with Kratos picking up a win earlier, and Bravo a bit of a dark horse, rising through the ranks potentially. He does have a prior loss to Cryptic, defeat Spooky, so 2 previous bouts were up against some fighters, some players with great grappling. But now we'll see. We saw what he does with someone who's less specialized in the grappling realm. Absolutely dominant performance. You got to keep an eye out for Bravo with those beautiful takedown feints. Just splendid.
When you talk about splendid and you're talking about star power, that brings us on to our next bout. And our next bout here is none other than the return of Romero. Just honestly, this guy could, if you have notes for commentary for this guy just has a list that goes on forever. He has won it all in the game. The guy probably has the biggest knowledge of the game. Like, no joke, the IQ that this guy probably possesses in terms of the game mechanics is just a long list, and it's actually scary the things that this guy can do. And you know, it's really good to see the PS side of the ESFL start getting these big heavy hitters on the card. Suave, Jamie, Romero, GOAT, you know, all on the same, EdParker, all on the same card. It's mouth-watering stuff. So we have Romero coming in next. As some of you obviously know, he is the winner of ESFL Vegas, you know, won that big cash prize there, finishing first place. He's a jack of all trades. He calls himself a nation hunter, where he takes on players from all regions. You know, he don't care if you're European, he don't care if you're from Oceania. He will take on any single person on this planet, you know, so very dangerous competitor. And he's taken up on Verestyle. He's taken on Verestyle. He won as a late replacement against Plains and defeated Kratos at ESFL 160. And I believe he is the owner of What Remains. So WR of Verestyle, the owner of WR. And obviously another member of the ESFL staff, so good to see him in there. And so this matchup here for Verestyle, like we were saying earlier in the Suave Jamie matchup with Psycho Shark, how big of a name is this for Verestyle? Someone that is 2-0, taking on Romero, potentially, arguably, a lot of people would agree, the best player in the world.
Yeah, absolutely massive storyline there for Verestyle. You know, beginning ESFL journey this season as a late replacement, getting the win against Pain, upset against Kratos, and now what a massive upset it would be against Romero. I saw that ESFL prediction lines were even as far as 50-1 at one point. We got a matchup here between Dustin Poirier and Max Holloway in the lightweight division. And you know, Romero definitely big favorite to win. Like you mentioned, fantastic names all over this card, and they're not even matching up directly against each other, but immediately getting started with high volume affair.
It's going to be interesting. A lot of these guys, if you guys are into competitive UFC 5 gaming, then take a good close look at this fight, because Romero is a bag of tricks. You know, every time you watch him fight, he's always showing you something new, something unique, something that you didn't even know existed in the game, because he just has that unlimited knowledge of the game. But so far, Verestyle coming out good with this Max Holloway pick. Do see them funky shorts. This one contested a lightweight. Obviously, Max Holloway did have a recent buff, and he is a very viable pick in this weight class. Definitely against Dustin, but 2-0 for Verestyle. Oh, but never mind in a big. Oh my God! The combinations from Romero there, just phenomenal. Verestyle come out looking very clean early, but a big moment there. But he's still back. That chin of Max Holloway has held up. He is still here. He is still in this fight, but maybe that's just a little bit of a taste of what Romero can do.
And you see that game knowledge coming in handy. Romero punishing that whip spinning body kick, knows his position as a game changer. Now, design council for the UFC 5 franchise, definitely feeding the developers key feedback and information. And he has that little tips and tricks, like you said. Keep an eye out for whatever he will pull off in this fight. Beginning of the fight, great start for him. Got a stun, didn't get the drop. Max Holloway's chin held up, but it was tested early, and we'll have to see if this makes it to the distance or not.
Oh, but the same trick again, the duck into the hook, and Max Holloway falling for that one again, and Verestyle needs to be very careful. That duck hook has landed twice, and Romero not really capitalizing too much, but he will be happy to they will definitely be big points on the scorecards at the end of this first round, as we are 3 minutes through, and a lot of work on the block. Nice slip hook there from Verestyle coming forward with his Max Holloway pressure. You know, Max Holloway very dangerous on that block. He can just walk you down. Some great stamina from Max Holloway, some great punch output he can possess. And, you know, even though two big stunts have come in Romero's favour, not too dissimilar head health. Both of these guys working with, I believe, a cut on the face. But Romero so far working the block into a rear body kick and then a jab straight off of the block for Verestyle. He is really just working that block, you know, because if he can get Romero into these late rounds, oh, and a nice combo there, digs down to the body, up to the head. Every single one of them strikes landed, jab into the rear hook for Romero. But so far, it's them two big stuns that separate him, but a nice lip hook. And Verestyle doing very good head health damage here, Kratos.
Yeah, absolutely. Verestyle snowballing here, just laying on the pressure increasingly. And I have been noticing Romero seems to be favoring that duck. He did get both of his stuns off the duck into that rear hook. Another beautiful hook right there. I have to see if Verestyle is able to make a read on Romero's pattern. Oh, nice double slip there to close out the first round. Romero making sure just kind of promote the platanos that are good for the soul.
And a very good round there for Romero. You know, probably took a little bit more head health damage than he wanted, but you know, he's used to this. He's been in these big fights before where you've been rocked, you've been stunned, and you took a lot of head health damage. So that won't deter him too much. That head health damage. Two big stuns on the board for himself, respectively. So he'll be happy securing that round. Stamina looks pretty in a good position for Romero there with a significant stamina advantage that's noticeable, but you know, another good round of work in the block and the head health. This third round could be getting very interesting for this Max Holloway pick. So jab off the block and then a slip hook, nice back step into the straight, fakes the body kick, doesn't want to let that go, back step into the straight, jab, and a rear hook lands, whiffs the body, double hooks, and a jab hook, and then a jab. And it's interesting that we have not seen Romero even initiate the grappling. We do know how dangerous he is. Probably has one of the best understanding of the ground game with the new submission game that has been brought to us by UFC 5, and a nice combo inside the pocket there for Romero. And, you know, just looking very dominant so far, Kroden, with a nice back step straight.
Yeah, I still have to give a nod to the composure of Verestyle, who despite that early rock, still in this fight, trying to make sure he makes use of that Max Holloway gas tank. But Romero in strong position here, heading just about 3 minutes left into that second round. And I believe all of his rocks so far seem to have come off of that rear hook. So he's pretty well talented with that lead hand. We saw a couple double jab to lead upper earlier. We'll have to see how this plays out. And like you said, no grappling so far, though Dustin with a bit of an edge there. But Max Holloway is no slouch either.
Big elbow lands there for Romero. Verestyle still pressing forward with this max pick. The 3 stuns so far in Romero's favour has not deterred him, and I still think he is doing very good work. He's getting through that block, but we do see now the head health advantage is slightly in Romero's favour, and there we go. Verestyle has caught onto that read where he does throw that rear hook. Romero does try to counter it with a duck hook, and he ducks it himself, but a nice jab hook does land there for Max Holloway in the hands of Verestyle, and another double hook does land there again for Verestyle. He's getting his head health down of Romero. This is what he wants for this next minute. He doesn't need to rush. He needs to just keep doing what he's doing, and he can find himself in a situation in the third round. If you've both got no head health, them early rocks and stuns don't really mean anything, Cronin. You know, you come into the third round, both your head health's blinking. It's just a matter of who's got the bigger homes, as some would say.
Yeah, for sure. And you can see their head health actually look pretty similar, if not Romero's head health being slightly lower. Minute left to go into the second round. So Verestyle definitely still in this fight. Getting into that third round, stamina still looking pretty good. Bit of a disadvantage there, but mostly a boxing affair. We'll have to see if any of these gentlemen mix it up in the third round. But very close, and wouldn't be surprised to see Verestyle grab a few stuns or even a drop of his own by the end of this fight.
Definitely believe that Verestyle will probably try and come up with something. If not, we'll start to put the risk on, because as we did mention, even though the head health is looking quite low for Romero as well, you know, Romero is 2 rounds up here for sure. I believe he and he's definitely 2 rounds up here. And he goes for the standing guillotine, drops into it just to seal out the round. And you know, Verestyle is in a position where he does need a finish. So he is going to leave it out there, but Romero will be... Look at the face of Max Holloway, by the way, there, Cronin.
Wow.
Look at the face.
And looking like something out of it.
Come in here.
Yeah,
Won't see the
both of
dots
these
up.
guys cut up looking like a horror movie. And similar to Tech making use of the taunts with Venom Page, we saw Romero going for the iconic Dustin Poirier guillotine jump there at the end of the second round. Touch of gloves. The cutmen seem to have done a very nice job with the cuts relatively sealed up, but let's see how that holds up. A bit of a bloodbath, as you can tell by the octagon. Another nice hook there by Romero.
And immediately open that cut back up of Max Holloway, and a big four-piece combo does rip through the block there, and Verestyle really up against it, but he has done enough damage to sort of leave himself in a flurry when he needs it, and obviously there is no one better. When you need to throw a 10-piece combination to try and get your opponent out of there is no one else you'd rather in the game than have Max Holloway to do that with. But obviously Romero, very defensively sound, you know, has took a lot of big damage, but you do see their combos coming out, and you know, this is going to be a very interesting third round, considering Max Holloway does really need to just let the gas tank go.
Yeah, and we're seeing a great defensive display by Romero, using a lot of head movement, footwork, back steps, and we just saw a bit of a lunge earlier there. But you know, I think we both agreed that he's 2 rounds up, 2018 into this third round. Will we? Ooh, nice back and forth full sequence right there. But will we see Romero shoot a takedown, try and just ride out the rest of the round, or do you think he'll try and go for the finish there?
I mean, you know, in this position, you do want to get the big win, and I'm looking at the cut on Dustin Poirier, and it's looking a bit dark. It's looking a bit scary, you know. So I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'll probably start initiating some wrestling or something, because Romero needs to be careful that the doctor doesn't come in here.
Oh my! Absolutely sent him flying backwards there with the uppercut. Wow, Dustin Poirier channeling his inner Francis Ngannou there. Even more powerful than the Wolverine uppercut. Just absolutely sent him flying back through the guard right there. You wonder if Max Holloway...
channeling his inner Ngannou. I'd say more like channeling his inner Houdini, because he made that boy levitate. He was floating in the midair. Look at him. He's made him hit the backflips to the backflips. That is crazy right there from Romero, and a beautiful win and a beautiful performance there, Croden. But really a great fight.
Yeah, very dominant there by Romero. You know, Verestyle stayed in it, but if you'd ever wondered if Max Holloway does have an off switch, Romero just shot a missile through it. It sent him flying through the air. Fantastic. Moving to 1-0, and talk about making a key debut. Already has the name value, the accolades, but with a performance like that, the rest of the division definitely has to keep an eye out for Romero.
For sure, beautiful win. I can see why Verestyle is 2-0. You know, he didn't look out of place there, but sometimes the other guy is just that one step ahead, you know, them early big drops, and then, you know, 2 rounds down, like we're saying, a lot of these fights, the same with the last fight with Bravo and Matador, you're 2 rounds down, you got to go for it, bro. And for me, Verestyle had to really leave it all out in that last round, and he did. And the cut from Romero was looking bad. I was thinking the doctor was coming in until we hit him with the Hadouken, and then next thing you know, it's just crazy bros levitating. But a very big win for Romero, and a statement win there for 1-0, and to keep this division on just high alert.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, Verestyle, despite dropping to 2-1, definitely should keep his head up with a nice performance. He hung in there against Romero, almost making it to the decision, but just gets punched off of his feet there. But Romero, fantastic performance. And do we think that could be a performance of the night consideration? Definitely in terms of knockout of the night, that was very flashy.
Yeah, in terms of knockout of the night, I'd have to probably agree with you, because, you know, obviously it's very fun with these ragdoll KOs that UFC 5 brings you, and that there was just one of the best ones. Like, bro was actually in the air for probably like a good 5 seconds, you know, like it all went in slow motion. I said like, whoa, and it all went in slow motion. Bro was fully levitating. So when you're talking about knockout of the night, that was definitely a beautiful one. And yeah, I think Romero will go back, and it will be very happy walk back to the dressing room for Romero. So word from the back for a few fights ahead, there will be a replacement for EdParker. So boos from the crowd and sadness from the crowd, the violins. We will not see the legendary EdParker this evening, but let's not that deter us from how much of a good fight this next one is going to be. Will be B3 I am the GOAT taking on AKA Dave. And now, I won't lie to you, ladies and gentlemen, I run my own Xbox shows, so a lot of these PlayStation guys, I've never, other than the ESFL, I've never seen them compete. But both of these guys, it's very interesting because they are both dual console. So B3 I'm the GOAT and AKA Dave, I had the pleasure of commentating many of their fights. So I could tell you a lot about these guys. And I can tell you now, this fight right here is going to be an absolute high level contest. So 3-2 for I'm the GOAT, 2-1 for AKA Dave, but let's not forget AKA Dave does have a draw in there. So he did lose to the legendary EdParker that we was just talking about, defeated Benjamin before Benjamin moved to the Xbox side of things, and then he had a draw against the legend that is Papa Doc. So even getting a draw against Papa Doc is a massive one for AKA Dave, and then he defeated NJ ESFL 160 to bring him that 2-1-1 record. B3 I'm the GOAT, obviously part of that Bang Bang Bullies camp. He bullies the blocks, he has elite submissions and veteran level IQ. Now this man, B3 I'm the GOAT, was one of the most dangerous players on UFC 4. I remember watching him time and time again, and this man was scary. I felt like he lost his way just a little bit coming into UFC 5. Just a tiny bit, but you know, this season 3-2 is a very respectable record over on the PlayStation side of things with all of these killers we have seen so far tonight. Defeated Papa Doc, who AKA Dave couldn't get the win against, only could get a draw there. So a loss to B3 Leaks, his own campmate, defeated Papa Lima, you know, the Lima style, and lost to GOAT in the Battle of the GOATs. So it's a very interesting one. What can you sort of tell us the fighter styles of these guys?
First, just make a slight correction. It appears we've gotten the other GOAT, which may not be happy with the mix-up, but it looks like it's going to be GOAT1099 up against AKA MG up on our screens right now. And and there's been actually a funny mistake there, because they actually had a matchup battle of the GOATs last time out at ESFL 160, where GOAT1099 did defeat B3's I'm the GOAT. So he's actually not part of any camp this season. He's a lone wolf. Previously he was part of Romero's Dark. And then on the other side,
one moment, ladies and gentlemen, we are just confirming some things. We are just confirming a little speculation. I was right. Hit the Jude Bellingham chat.
Oh.
And they're in the fight. Are we good to go with it? Do you guys want to? We'll go straight in. Go with MMA, AKA Dave. One of them bullies the blocks, has elite submissions and a veteran level eye, taking on the deadly striker that is AKA Dave. We are here. Apologies for the first 3 minutes of this round, but we are here and we are good. And we are contesting this one, Croden, in the weight class of women. Talk us through this one.
It's very uncommon. Not the most common picks you see, but we have B3 I'm the GOAT with his username GOAT of MMA as Wavyy Zhang. Ooh, immediately rocked here by AKA Dave, who's playing as Xiaonan right there. Gets a drop, and wow, immediately, just a minute and a half less to go in the first round. Unfortunately, we did miss the beginning, but looks like a back and forth fight. Already some head damage there. Both of these fighters with cuts on their faces.
So AKA Dave is a very underrated fighter. He sort of come out the blue, out of nowhere. Like I say, dual console, had a very, very good record in the affiliate leagues of the NEC. Very, very good player, and I'm the GOAT. Not having the best of records in the affiliate leagues, but still very, very dangerous. But Dave, I believe MK Dave, AKA Dave, could definitely, if he keeps working, be one of the very top players this game has to offer. Every time I see him, in whether it be the NEC, the VFL, the ESFL, he's just really putting out some very, very high level fights. And sort of what you see there, hitting big combinations as the uppercut lands and he drops him again. Yeah. Against such a high level opponent that is I'm the GOAT. And we look at the stats there and we didn't miss much because there was only 2 significant strikes landed from I'm the GOAT in that round. I believe that's what I just saw. Would have to confirm that, but if that was 2 in 5 minutes, that's a very dominant round for AKA Dave Croden.
Yeah, did catch the 2 stuns and 2 drops that we did manage to see, and definitely fantastic round there for AKA Dave. Dominant position heading into round 2. I'm curious what the odds were heading into this one, but bit of a trouble there for I'm the GOAT. Will have to make his way back into this fight with Wavyy Zhang, who I reckon is the stronger pick on paper, but AKA Dave using Yan to great effect of a back take and the takedown denied.
Yeah, I see AKA Dave trains with a lot of good people coming out of that AKA camp, you know, as well as when he's playing on Xbox. I know he's playing with guys like Ali ADP, some very like Dex Primacy, some very, very good wrestlers. So that's very interesting. The guys that are dual console have the opportunity to spar the whole community, you know, and you can download a lot of styles. So you do see AKA Dave there with another big drop on the rear hook, drops him into full guard, and it could be all she wrote in one of the quickest fights of this evening. And
reversal, key reversal right there for I'm the GOAT, who's in top mount. Let's see, he's able to recover there, make sure he's not finished there, landing a couple nice shots there. But he is known for his wrestling, even though he's from the B3 camp, definitely one of the most well-rounded people in the community, and he's going to need to pull out all the tricks because on the feet it hasn't been looking like it's going too well, and some nice ground and pound, and you know, AKA Dave's head health isn't doing too hot either.
It's not doing too great, Croden, and I'll tell you what else, that cut on Ian's face is not looking beautiful either. And you know, I feel like as well, when I've been watching GOAT a lot, you do see there in his fighter profile elite submissions, elite ground game. You know, I feel like he abandons it. I felt like he abandoned it. You do see there a sweep reversal there, which will very help MK Dave get back to his feet, which is where he will want this fight, even though that cut is quite bad. But, you know, I feel like on UFC 4, another big sweep there for a GOAT of MMA, but I feel like on UFC 4, he was like nearly untouchable in the wrestling. Like he just had such a dominant top game. And he sort of just let that go in UFC 5, and very curious to it, but we do see there another reversal for Dave, and Dave, no slouch on the ground either, happy to continue with this wrestling, does pass into half guard in the roll through to full guard, punching away the face, will probably be 2 rounds up here, and won't get that transition. We've seen a few cheap transitions given up already. I doubt we will see any more, but a post shot into mount, a hip pops out, but breathe back into the mount, and a power gap.
Very interesting there, and we see I'm the GOAT, so perhaps a bit of a desperation, prioritizing winning the round back. First round, a big drop right there. As I say, first round may have been a 10-8 even, but it looks like we might not even need the judges with a critical rock right here, and this could be it. Wow. Fantastic performance there by AKA Dave. Unfortunately, we missed the beginning of it, but dominant win over B3 I'm the GOAT, who's always a tough out, and that deadly striking showcased right there, but with some nice ground game as well.
In women's as well. We never really get to see the women's fights, so thank you to both of them, gentlemen, for bringing us an interesting women's division matchup to our screens. And like you say, a very beautiful performance there from AKA Dave. And I couldn't tell you the last time we've watched a fight this evening that has not had shout for performance of the night, fight of the night, or finish of the night. You just see there from Romero, we've seen from Suave Jamie in the fight of the night. A lot of these fights so far are really putting out, and that nothing short of a spectacular performance for Dave that does move to 3-1-1, which is a very, very respectable record for AKA Dave, and 3-3 for B3 I'm the GOAT, but also, Croden, a very respectable record.
Absolutely, you know, it will have to be interesting to see where these guys are matched up in the future. Perhaps may see a rematch with both these guys, kind of in the middle of the pack, though AKA Dave definitely advancing. And if you look at his record, he did lose his debut against EdParker, so that's not really something you can really knock him for. Picking up the 3 wins, see him up in the rankings, potentially entering the fringes of the title picture. Some great matchups on the card there. But yeah, like I said, interesting matchup, women's weight there, and fantastic performance by AKA Dave.
So just looking at the card so far, we've had stellar performances. Kratos defeating Tech so far. If you are just tuning in, Kratos did defeat Tech there, which was just a beautiful performance. We had K1 the Pug defeating Reaper, which was just dominant from bell to bell. We had Suave Jamie, in which was a class 3-round fight, winning a decision against Psycho Shark, which was, we believed, closer than the actual 30-28 scoreboard cards with a 10-10 round there, which was a lot closer. than some would believe, but very, very good there. And then Bravo defeating Storm, Bravo defeating late replacement Matador, I should say, with just a grappling masterclass there, moving him to 2-1. Very important for a lot of these guys to get these wins and start moving up the rankings, you know, especially with the prizes on offer this season, in terms of the Boilers bonuses and things like that. Very important for these guys. And then obviously we just see AKA Dave and Romero back-to-back putting on clinics respectively. You know, it's going to be interesting to see like guys like AKA Dave, the young bloods, that are really coming up and coming and trying to make a name for themselves when they get in there with guys like Romero and Bravo and things like that, like the long-standing veterans of the game. So, you know, definitely a lot. We are around the halfway point, I believe, of the PlayStation season. So we've already had some very good fights, and I believe now as these records start shaping up, you know, we're seeing guys 3-3, 3-1, 2-1, 2-0, 1-0. A lot of these bigger fights will start coming to you in the co-main event. Not to say that these fights in the co-main and main events are not big fights. I'm just saying, like, a lot of these big heavy hitter fights like Romero versus Jamie, like, we just need to see it as an exhibition, chat. Like, it's absolutely crazy. So very fun night of fights. We are looking into the next match, just as a sort of outside look. We're looking at Elite King taking a late replacement for EdParker. I mean,
we're already in the match right here. So we got Elite King here, and it looks like he might be red corner, fighting as Islam Makhachev. Apologies there. That's HostNinja as the red corner, Islam Makhachev. A world class everywhere, dangerous grappling and sneaky counters. On the other hand, Elite King as Dustin Poirier, the late replacement for EdParker, as we said. And, you know, HostNinja just beginning immediately with a bit of a head health advantage. Going for the clinch. Looks like he's going to be mixing up all facets of MMA, but late denial there. How do you think this bout will play out, JP?
It'd be very interesting for Elite King here, late replacement for EdParker. HostNinja probably training for EdParker. Not an easy person to train for. Like I was saying earlier, you know, you sort of train a certain way for a certain sort of style, and then, you know, if it was a sort of striking affair you were preparing for, Elite King comes in with a different one at that, with this Dustin Poirier pick, where he does work the body similar to EdParker, but does have some big dangerous hands as well, but walks forward a lot more than Ed does, Elite King. So 2-1 for him, 2-2 for HostNinja. Double leg bow there into the back take, looking to drag him down into side control. Does get it, and some elbows raining down here from Islam Makhachev. So far so good for HostNinja. Got him where the fight wants to be, but does get back into full guard, and I feel like this is a very stalemate position. Not if you give those up though. Could be interesting because he does get the posture, doesn't get the free transition out, and I feel like Elite King's rushing here on the ground, Crowd.
He has to take his time, you know, be careful. Dustin does have a dangerous guard game. Elite King may be able to use that rubber guard there, but we'll see if HostNinja is able to join his 8M brethren in the win column tonight. So far 2-0 with Kratos, as well as another member of theirs getting victories, which was Bravo. So we'll see if HostNinja is able to get the victory. He used to be part of Dark, disbanded, but we'll see. Top control now. Nice beginning to the round for HostNinja, but like you said, it's a bit of a stalemate position. Not doing too much to get the round in his favor, and he chooses to get up. That's an interesting choice there, Jakey.
Very interesting to stand up in that position, you know, controlling the round, potentially winning the round. If he gets dropped here, he's going to be kicking himself. It was kind of stale on the ground there, wasn't really getting much damage off either competitor. So maybe he just really wants to get up and just sort of assert a little bit of dominance on his round. But there you go. Why would you stand up when you're getting hit with those? And a big slip uppercut does land there for Elite King, front kick off the block, and now opting to go back to the takedown again, but to secure a more dominant position. So he did give up that position, but he does find himself in a better position here. Denial from side saddle into the head and arm choke. Does get this one locked in, and maybe it just was an IQ play I wasn't aware of, because he seems like he's in a lot of better position just from standing up, Cronin.
Yeah, and definitely might be able to cinch the submission in here, and if he does, definitely could offset that stun. But it looks like he's now taking the back. But at the last moment, we have an escape there by Elite King, and, you know, debatable. It's easy. Hindsight is 20/20. Does HostNinja regret that decision of getting up from the ground? I'd say so, with a slight edge, a 10-9 in favor of Elite King, but not too clear of a round in either direction, JK.
Yeah, not too clear for me either. I do believe, like, you do see the highlights here. You do see the stats, but a lot of that was ground and pound. I mean, the most damaging shot I saw was that slip to the outside where he ripped the uppercut straight on the jaw of Islam Makhachev. But you do see there a lot of the highlights wrestling. How do they score these takedowns? I don't know. But that's all they're showing in the highlights. Maybe a 1-0 for Host on the grappling front. But I feel like, yeah, definitely regrets that decision regardless, because if he did lose that round when it does go to the scorecards, you know, he's going to be kicking himself.
Yeah, but it could be key to keep the grappling in the mind of Elite King. You know, bit of a stalemate. Oh, nice hook land right there. But it didn't look good to see a grappler trying to stand up, like they gave up on the position. But it's nice to know that HostNinja, yeah, he's mixing it. Oh, another slip uppercut right there. The uppercut of Dustin Poirier, a big actor in tonight's affair.
And so far, ripping them combos, forcing Makhachev into them grappling positions, but he gives this one up easy. And I've seen that a few times tonight. I've seen that, like, that takedown is got too easy for HostNinja to be getting there. You've got to be holding L2 R2, sorry, on the PlayStation side of things, to deny them takedowns, because too easy. Now you're into a dangerous dance position with very low stamina. He got out of the first one, but I don't think he gets out of this one, Cronin.
Yep, very dangerous, and wow, another late escape. Yeah, I thought that was about to be cinched in, hook the leg, and just deplete that sub-meter, but no. King of late escapes. Elite King now at the top of the backside gets a denial there. Interesting to see if he chooses to continue this grappling exchange, or when he's actually going for a darce of his own right here and uses it to secure the back flat position. This could be big, JK.
I mean, that's very smart play, right? He's gone for the darce, and a lot of these guys are just so worried about losing that sub bar. They almost always give up that down transition into the dominant position, whether it may be mount or back flat. And that's a very, very good play there from Elite King. You know, very close first round. We did see a lot of going for a darce again, but won't get that one. And this will be a beautiful reversal. That's a very beautiful animation, by the way, chat. Very, very beautiful animation. But, you know, back on top here for HostNinja, I just feel like there's not enough to definitively say who is winning these rounds. But a crucifix here, very dangerous position, elbow lands on the face, a denial now, and these big elbows could cement this round for HostNinja.
Definitely, and with some nice control there, does manage to get back to the side saddle bottom for Elite King, but he's not out of the woods yet. HostNinja showing some nice control and working on another submission here, looking like an arm triangle choke off to the side. Both struggling, stamina going down. We'll see if Elite King is able to escape again, but no, he's denied. So he may actually, and oh, there we go. A bit of pain right there. The sub-meter is down. He has to watch out. Definitely could see a submission victory by HostNinja in an otherwise close bout.
Definitely just done enough there to secure that round with that locking that big submission in, and that does leave him only one submission away. And then it looks like that Elite King was worried about rear naked chokes and let himself get flattened out. Does roll to mount, but slips some dangerous elbows and finds himself in a good position here. Does HostNinja now, but it does beg to differ that first round. So close. Is Host up two? Definitely won that one.
Yeah, agreed. First round, bit of a coin flip there with that slight, a bit of a minor stun there. Doesn't really get recorded as a major event on the cards. He did have the grappling advantage, but you know, definitely 50-50 on who won that first round. So it could either be 2-0 in favor of HostNinja, or it could be 1 round apiece. Both gentlemen still in this fight heading into the third round. We'll see if HostNinja is able to get it to the ground once more, or if Elite King is able to stake his ground and secure the victory.
I mean, really, what we have seen that's out of the fight, Islam Makhachev has been getting these takedowns all night. I do see there that darce getting locked in and opting for that back flat. But then again, no damage again from the back flat position of Elite King. And it's just got to try and keep this one on the feet. I believe Makhachev will probably feel like he's up. I see him do a little stat check halfway through the round, after the third round, and all the reds were in his favor. So he will probably feel like he is 2 rounds up here, but necessarily that doesn't mean that he did win that round. But maybe in his mind, he will feel like he's up. So I expect a few takedowns to come here early, and Elite King just really needs to be on the defensive.
Nice striking action there from Elite King to start the round. A nice dip into a hooks, but back against the fence. You don't want to be caught there. You have less leverage on your punches. Very nice pull attempt there, but he misses. A bit of a wonky slip afterwards. Perhaps a bit of panic there, but he does get another judo throw back into side saddle. Like you said, Elite King really has to stop giving these up.
Yeah, he has to stop giving these up, and I mean, it might even be too late for him to stop giving them up because he's gave this one up, and if he can't find himself back to the feet in these 3 minutes or reverse of position and give some big damage output to this Islam Makhachev pick, you know, he's probably going to find himself dropping to 2-2, and HostNinja probably going to 3-2. So it's a very good game plan. You know, this Islam Makhachev pick is very dangerous. His takedown stat is so high, his top control stat is so high. Another pass over to mount and a denial there, and this was where it could be very dangerous for Elite King looking into block a submission. And we didn't forget about that submission that was already locked in. The Dustin Poirier's sub health is very, very low already. Going for the arm triangle. Nice denial now from Elite King. We're seeing some better denials, but maybe a little bit too late, Croden.
Yeah, you know, for sure, he's surviving. He's doing well to get the denies now, but he needed to get the denial of the takedown. It's not going to help him surviving to a decision where he may lose all 3 rounds to none. But HostNinja just continuing this great control back into side saddle, landing a couple elbows to open him up. I expect him to go for another submission soon, but just taking his time there, very tactical as he gets the half guard top with 1.5 minutes to go. Elite King really needs to get back on the feet and make something big happen. I reckon he needs a KO.
Needs a KO, and going for the double full guard fake into the up transition is not going to do it, but he does get this Kimura locked in. What's he going to opt for? Neon Belly. He's going to lock it in, which is, for me, not the play. You got to go Neon Belly and stand up and just go gung-ho in this situation. There we go. He's read my mind. He is up, but his stamina's low. But, you know, has a minute to get something big done, and there is that to the outside, does cause some head health damage. Dustin Poirier running out of time in this round. Knee to the belly, take it down, bow. Does need to stop this one, doesn't, and I think that will be all she can wrote, bro.
Agreed there. HostNinja, very tactical decision there, getting the fight back to the ground. No need to take unnecessary risks on the feet where Elite King could mount a comeback. Crucial denial there. 5 seconds to go, rides it out with another submission just to look pretty to the judges. And that could actually be a 30-27 win for HostNinja, 29-28 at the very least.
I would agree, minimum 29-28. Unofficially, I would probably say 30-27. I feel like them highlights of all these judo tosses is just telling me it's a 30-27. I don't think they're really taking into the account of that strike in there, but you do see there Islam Makhachev and HostNinja moves to 3-2 in this division on the PlayStation side halfway through the season, and 2-2 for Elite King. But, you know, won't beat himself too bad. It would have been interesting to see how EdParker dealt with them takedown denials. So maybe when EdParker does come back, that is a match we can get to see run back, because it was a very interesting match on paper with the takedowns that we see there. Very the classic grappler versus striker matchup. EdParker versus HostNinja would have been there, but Elite King does step in, and, you know, maybe not enough time to prep for that sort of style like we were saying earlier with Matador.
Exactly, with Bravo being similar to HostNinja with the grappling heavy game plan. The plan was always from the beginning to just impose your control, keep the fight where you want it. So EdParker or Elite King, the change up didn't affect HostNinja as much, and he got a dominant victory there. It was a bit shaky at the beginning, but towards the end definitely in cruise control, headed towards that win there. But interesting to see when we can see Elite King or EdParker jump back into the octagon in the future. And it's interesting. 3-2 for HostNinja, could be up in the rankings, perhaps getting matched up against another competitor on this card, someone who didn't fight yet. Have to see.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see what lies next for HostNinja, and what also lies next for Elite King. I'm sure he will be back in the very future. You know, he looked good in there. He had some nice counters, but just really couldn't stop the takedowns there of HostNinja. So very good performance there, and commiserations to Elite King, but big congratulations to HostNinja, and a very good fight between the both of them. But moving on, I believe we have another superstar, another big heavy hitter, big name in the community, GOAT1099. What I'm reading here, there is no notes for commentary. It just says the GOAT. He's just the GOAT. ladies and gentlemen. He's just the best to ever do it. Just another superstar, the GOAT. He won his UFC 5 debut against B3 I'm the GOAT in the old-fashioned GOAT-off to decide who is the real GOAT, and he did win that one. So he does have the crown of the GOAT, and he would like everyone to know he is not part of any camp this season. I believe there was some confusion last PlayStation card about the camp he was in. He is very close to many of the camps in the communities, but this season he is the lone wolf, or a lone GOAT, should we say. Taking on AJ, aka MG, defeated Blackout Hours in his debut. Lost to B3 Vanio and defeated Storm, so sporting and Tech, so sporting a 3-1 record. What can you tell us about these guys, Crow?
Yeah, so we have the matchup here in the welterweight division. Shavkat Rakhmonov for GOAT1099 up against aka MG's Leon Edward, and MG's got his fighting style, boxer. He likes to pressure, move forward on the feet, and he has to make use of his elite head movement up against such a dangerous competitor like GOAT in his second ESFL bout. We'll see if MG's able to get a win and move up to 4-1, and that's definitely when you're approaching title considerations, especially with such a big name like GOAT1099.
Yeah, it will be a very interesting bout, and we're seeing another Shavkat Rakhmonov pick getting locked in here for GOAT1099, and Leon Edwards for aka MG. Obviously, aka very dangerous camp. Like we just see the level aka Dave was just fighting at, but you know he is in here versus this aka member is in against a different GOAT altogether. So it will be a very interesting fight. Obviously, the boxing and the pressure of AKMG, how will that fare against this Rakhmonov pick? Will we see GOAT1099 go for the takedowns and utilize the grappling and the submissions of Shavkat Rakhmonov? Will be very interesting as the teep to the body gets caught, walks to the cage, a spin elbow there, does whiff, and back on the jab for GOAT1099. So opening minute, nothing really to talk about other than the pressure that is going to come from AKMG as he catches another leg kick, but probably won't opt for the takedown. Does go for it, but would he have capitalized on it? I'm not too sure. But nice to know from GOAT1099 anyway, and a front kick to the face. And so far, AKMG landing nice and early, Croydon.
Yep, and then we have to see if he's able to join the win column with his fellow campmate, aka Dave, who secured the win. As we mentioned, GOAT riding solo this season, which can be easier, less drama, no love lost, getting matched up against campmates. He's looking to carve his way up the rankings to another ESFL title, of course securing the PlayStation Championship last time out at the end of UFC 4. And I'm expecting GOAT to go for a few takedowns, use that grappling of Shavkat. You know, he's a very well-rounded player. Nice body straight, just technical bout so far, with GOAT kind of pressuring now towards the latter half of the first round, where with the first half he was on the back foot.
Back foot indeed, but now he's walking forward a little bit more, maybe gonna look for open that takedown, but you know, it's all good opting for the takedowns, but if you play in someone very good, it's going to be interesting. 3-on-1 for AKMG, so he is no slouch. You know, probably does have very good takedown defense on them turns. It's going to be interesting. I feel like AKMG is a slight ahead of GOAT in the early upcoming 4 minutes of this fight. Doing very well so far to negate pretty much most of what GOAT is doing. The footwork you see there, back and forth for AKMG, doing very well so far as GOAT tries walking down with his jab straight, but nothing landing. Back on the back foot, as you mentioned earlier, Croden. Teep to the body, pushing him up against that cage. A leg kick does come out there into the final minute. Still a very close round. Straight does land there through the block. Jabs down to the body. Nothing really doing a lot. Both of these guys working a lot of block. Rear round. Oh, there's a big combo from GOAT and finds his opportunity for that free takedown into the spear. Had a beautiful moment for GOAT, Croden.
I was about to say it's a very close round. Both players just taking their time. Technical fight there, but with that stun and then a takedown, definitely have to be leaning towards a strong 10-9 in GOAT's favor to close off this. And we're seeing some grappling for the first time. We'll be able to see if anyone's able to establish their control just as the round ends. 10-9 for the GOAT, and now MG's got both a stun on the feet as well as the grappling threat of GOAT present in his mind.
I mean, it was a very close round up until that moment. for GOAT1099. I believe that AKMG was slightly ahead, just doing a little bit more of the pressure in that round with the boxing and landing just a few of the better shots, but big mistake made, and then Goat rips a big combo in the pocket and gets his due reward for it. So GOAT1099 with the round advantage, head kick off the block, Leon Edwards lead uppercut, rear hook out of range, but a big slip and a big rip there for Leon Edwards. But I feel like this is similar to one of the fights we watched earlier where I believe it was
Psycho against Jamie.
I believe it was Tech against Kratos, where Tech at the end of the first round had a big moment after losing the majority of the round, right? He was losing the majority of the striking exchanges and then did get a big moment at the end. And that's kind of what we just see with GOAT. So it's going to be interesting. Like, he needs another big moment in this round. He needs to not let AKAMG just stand here and just tee off on him. He really needs to just keep working and secure this round, because once you've secured this round, you know, the fight's pretty much won.
Yeah, not much room, margin for error here. Nice hook there, landed for GOAT, who gets the clinch, land a couple knees. We'll see if he does a takedown attempt off of this. It looks like he may have, but MG was able to disengage. Nice footwork with MG, moving laterally, not just in straight line backwards, often circling away from the power hand, which is key to make sure he doesn't get stuck against the cage, where it'll be even easier for GOAT to initiate those grappling sequences.
We have 85% of the votes this matchup in the favor of GOAT1099. Will be very interesting to see if he can get this one over the line with 2 minutes left on the clock. Front kick off of the block, clinch attempt into the takedown, but as we were talking earlier about 3-1 record means you are no slouch in the ESFL, because it's best of the best. You are fighting the greatest players in the world. So if you have a 3-1 record here, you do have some of the best skills in the world. But a nice takedown there from GOAT, as he has to resort to the bow, into the back take and the back drag to take him down here and threaten the subs. That, you know, this is what GOAT's going to want to do. Minute 20 left, needs to secure this round, Croden, to be 2 up.
For sure, and Shavkat is the fighter to do it with. Dangerous submissions. See him postured up, get some ground and pound. The block has been just kind of eaten through there, but very key reversal for MG, who may be able to steal this round, which really doesn't have any too big defining moments where you can really say the round has shifted in favor of one fighter or the other. 30 seconds to go, just pounding away at the body from sprawl top. Not too much urgency shown, but you don't want to make any big mistakes and give up the round when you don't have to.
Yeah, as he does get flipped there, and a nice denial there, and digs to the body, does get the posture, and this will be a little bit of damage if he can figure out the shots right. But it is a slip, and it is back to the feet. But for me, Croden, that's a very close round. How would you score that?
I'm slightly in favor of GOAT. You know, it's pretty even action, but I feel he just did a little bit more with the ground and pound when it did make it to the ground there. While on the feet, it was pretty closely contested, though the highlights do show a nice counter there that was cut off there by MG, but it could be 2 in favor of GOAT, 1-1. Who knows? Round 3 will be very telling for the nature of this bout.
So we are here again in the 3rd and final round for another classic matchup. We are here, GOAT1099 against AKAMG in the 3rd round. Could be 2-0, could be 1-1. Very interesting. We do both agree that GOAT1099 did win the 1st round, so this last round is going to be very interesting. Does AKMG just try and secure this round, or does he really need to go out there and try and finish GOAT? It's going to be interesting. Yeah, I would have to agree. I would say GOAT did secure that round, and just looking at the head health damage, he's just probably been doing the better damage throughout that round.
Oh my, overhand shuts off the lights of AKAMG. Talk about a surprise knockout out of nowhere. Make one mistake and GOAT1099 will capitalize. Beautiful jab, rear overhand as he's trying to return a slip uppercut of his own. Wow.
Bro, when you talk about pound for pound headshot dead, look at that strike there. Big overhand. Look at his lips all wobbling, his ears all wobbling. Look at the arms all flobbering. Oh my God, what a shot there from GOAT. I think all you can just say is, bah. and start banging at the GOAT1099, because what a performance that was there, and a beautiful finish. Didn't even need to go to the judges' scorecards, and just absolutely spectacular, Kratos.
Yeah, well said. Talk about putting a stamp on your performance, and that goes up there in contention for one of the best KOs of the night. And you know, I'd even have it as #1 if we didn't see Dustin Poirier launch Max Holloway into orbit earlier on the fight card, and we had the matchup between, yeah, just crazy right there. You know, go moving to 2-0, aka MG, moving to 3-2. Very big implications for the top of the division. Disappointing for MG, but you know, we talked about it earlier. Nice showing against very skilled competition like Psycho against Suave Jamie, and now MG. Can't hang his head too much, but wow, just amazing KO to cap off that fight.
Amazing KO, and it just, you know, really speaks to the volume of skill we have on this card. We've seen some beautiful ones from Romero to that one, some just beautiful fights, and it does make you really excited when you look at the names and you look at all the green ticks of who's won, and you're really looking at these fights lining up with Romero, Jamie, Bravo, you know, K1 Pug, a lot of these guys winning and putting on special performances. HostNinja, it really just makes you very excited for what is to come next. But what is to actually come next is probably highlighted my actual favourite fight of this evening, that looking at it on paper. Treehouse taking on B3 Vanio, or Veno. Forgive me if I say that wrong, brother, but I am very excited for this fight. B3 Veno, Treehouse, both of these guys 3-0. Somebody's O has to go in this matchup, and it's just, what can you tell us about these guys' program, because there's just too much.
Yeah, for sure. We got a very nice matchup in the lightweight division. Max Holloway of Vanio, who's 3-0 like you mentioned, defeated Benjamin in his debut at ESFL 154, then picking up wins against aka MG, we just saw in the previous fight, as well as Elite King at ESFL 156 and 158 respectively. Aside from that, he's a title contender in every league he's competed in, including Primetime. On the other hand, Treehouse, often in top 10 in the ranked championship, defeated Spooky, Tech, and even a first-round submission over EdParker at ESFL 162, which was dominant. Not even a single punch landed by EdParker. We'll see Vanio is patient. We have to make sure to use his IQ, though he is a bit of a slow starter. But with that EdParker bout in mind, he has to be watch out, because Treehouse, grappling wizard, a submission specialist, and he's a digital Gordon Ryan there, patented Tree-Jitsu.
Digital Gordon Ryan is crazy, man.
And we see immediately going to what he's good at. Treehouse, as Oliveira, gets the takedown off the clinch into side control, and this is exactly where he wants to be.
I've seen a lot of Tree. He's looked really good. I saw the performance against EdParker was phenomenal. I was absolutely mind blown about what he did to EdParker. It was a crazy watch, really. But what I'm most impressed of is the amount of people talking about this guy. You know, I've got my ears in many places, and even in my own stream chat when I'm streaming, they say, bro, Treehouse is the man. And this is one I'm very excited to call on the commentary booth. As soon as I see this matchup on the card, I was very excited once I got the call up for the comms booth. And so far, he has not disappointed. He's looked very dominant in all of his fights. Already has this Max Holloway on the floor, going for this early submission. Do you just think B3 Vanio needs to have just drilled a lot of these submission defenses in his camp?
Yeah, absolutely. They're just 100% jiu-jitsu defense training camp. But you're going up against a name like Treehouse, who's part of that Octo camp, who's been performing quite well this night. But back to his feet, and we'll see, should have a very big advantage on the feet. But immediately, Treehouse reaching for another clinch, getting interrupted, but that doesn't stop him from going for another one. Another big takedown. That's stuff Vanio cannot be giving away. 2 minutes to go, and he's back on the ground.
You do see there, past a full mount and a denial for Treehouse early so far. Vanio looking good on the feet, but it's just as soon as this Charles Oliveira pick starts grabbing your neck, you're in all sorts of panic stations. You don't want to be here on the bottom of Treehouse after watching, you know, you're watching tape on him and you've just watched him sub EdParker in half a round, and you're thinking, what am I meant to do here, bro? You know, so you've really got to get to the lab and work on this sub defense. But you know, early again in this first round with a minute to go, you find yourself in top mount, sub big shots raining down, the subs are getting threatened. You know, he's trying to grab your arm, trying to grab your neck. There's a lot of things to think about here, but, you know, if you're Vanio here, you just really need to survive these 50 seconds, restart, because every round does start back on the feet, Cronin.
For sure, and as we noted at the beginning of the fight, Vanio is a bit of a slow starter, so kind of to be expected that he gives up round one, though we definitely don't want Treehouse to getting too much of advantage. Fortunately for Vanio, hasn't been giving up any of his sub-meters so far, so still lots of room, 2 rounds to go in this fight for him to stage a comeback, but very disheartening to just be trapped with Treehouse like glue on top, just heading out with a couple of just punches, pitter-patter. Definitely a dominant round in Treehouse's favor, though perhaps not quite enough for a 10-8, but a strong 10-9 in my opinion.
Yeah, I'd agree, a strong 10-9, but you do see there in the highlights that the tail of the highlights was the punches. And to be fair, you look at the 6 strikes numbers, you know, the judges do think of that. I feel like I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's a split round. I'm going to say that's a split round. I'll say one judge definitely give that to Vanio for the strike output, but a big rock here from Vanio, you know, and this will be a very big win if he can get this one. I believe only one judge will give you that for the strike output, and the rest will give it based on the control time on the mat. But it's going to be a very interesting second round here, as we do see a big rock there from Vanio. Big overhand does land, whips him into the clinch. Does throw him back down to the ground, feet on hips, nice denial, straight back to his feet for Max Holloway, and this is where he needs to be. He needs to just be heavy on that L2R2, not get taken down. You do see there, Max Holloway's hands low, double leg bow, does go for the trip, that's nice. That gets him back to the reset, so he can walk backwards, get back to the center of the cage, keep away from the cage, because you don't want him to bow you up against it, and a straight into the lead uppercut, into the rear hook, single leg, another nice denial. And if Veno can do this for the next 2 rounds, I think he can win.
For sure, he's definitely heating up in the defensive grappling round. We saw him deny the clinch with a straight punch, shucking off takedown attempts after takedown attempts, and that nice bail afterwards. You can tell he did drill his takedown defense, and good shape, but unfortunately, breaks out of that clinch there. 3 minutes to go in this round. So far in his favor, but, you know, just Treehouse just needs to get you to the ground once, and it could be a long night from there, but fantastic just turn in the momentum there from Vanio from round 1 to now. It's looking like a completely different bout.
Is looking completely different. Vanio has sort of downloaded the takedowns of this Charles Oliveira pick, and he's kept on his feet this whole round, doing very well. Got that big stunt early, and, you know, with them striking numbers, you know, he could have definitely even won the first. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this one goes, as this one gets to the late stages, and a slip clinch there, goes for another takedown, and a nice denial again from Vanio, and another double leg bow, and it's just such a frustrating play style to play against, because you've really just got to have all your wits about you, but Vanio's doing it perfectly here, Cronin.
Yeah, firing on all cylinders in the defensive department. You can't let your concentration slip for a moment, or you'll find yourself with your back stuck to the mount. Another clinch attempt shucked off there. Just a masterful performance of anti-grappling so far, with a minute left to go in round 2, and very strongly in favor of Vanio. And even if he did get him to the ground, like you said with round 1, not too much achieved by Treehouse. Possible a judge gave it to Vanio, and this round definitely Vanio's favor. So he could be looking at 2-0 on at least one of the judges' scorecards, if not 1-1 across the board. See, standing guillotine shucked off right there. Very nice defense by Vanio.
Very nice defense from Vanio there to keep him off, but, you know, 10 seconds left. For me, this is where you can just start throwing a big 3-piece combination. But that is the round 1, I believe, for Vanio, and, you know, I feel like we do have a 1-1 situation going into this third. I mean, it could be a 2-0 somewhere along the lines, but I do believe it is a 1-1 situation majority going into this last one. So this last one is going to be very interesting. You know, Vanio's going to be very locked in this round to not get taken down. Touch of gloves, nice show of respect between these two competitors. We'll give you a play-by-play as this happens. Takedown there, doesn't land. Vanio is locked in on them takedowns, and he just needs to let these combos rip, get this damage, and keep Charles Oliveira off him. As you do see there, another denial, and Treejitsu just not working. Digital Gordon Ryan just not working at the moment, but he does get a takedown there. Feet on hips, pushes him straight off, clinches, slips it, pushes him, and so far so good. Some very good denials from Vanio, but you Treehouse is not going to stop, bro. He's got another 4 minutes of this.
Yeah, like I said, cannot lose his concentration, and it's very telling with the default defensive posture of Vanio holding, walking backwards with his block down most of the time, getting ready for the takedowns, but still adapting nicely to the clinches. But now they're in this extended grappling position, though even though Vanio is on top, it's not where he wants to be, and we see quickly get out of that quicksand, back to his feet, 3.5 minutes to go, and he still wants to establish some striking to make sure the judges see this round in his favor, but it's hard with this unstoppable volume of takedowns at him by Treehouse. But beautiful denial right there.
What I'm seeing very high level plays here from both gentlemen. I'm seeing Treehouse going for them bows, allowing him to take him down, because it's the only way Oliveira is getting Vanio to the mat at the moment with them counter takedowns. So he's doing that, hoping to get full guard to get a position. So it's very smart from Treehouse, but just not working. And what I'm seeing from Vanio there, as when Charles Oliveira did get back to the full guard, he immediately denied rubber guard and then power postured to give him that free get up to get back to his feet. And we have 2 minutes left, and I believe Vanio here winning, but this is a position that's interesting. Standing guillotine against the cage, drops into it. Tree Jitsu is in full effect, and we see him go for that guillotine, but a nice denial, stamina gone. He should get a free transition out here because the stamina is completely gone, and he's Treehouse all out of options, as we will see him there escape into the half guard position. What will be the optive choice? Does he stay here? Does he opt for a power posture just to get back to his feet? But here we are back in full guard, dangerous, just needs to power posture and get back up. And then he does opt for it, staying away from that tree jitsu. And Vanio fought an absolute perfect fight up until now, with 1 minute 10 left. And I believe so far so good for Vanio in his third and final round card.
Yeah, for sure. And starting from the second round, just shut down all the grappling offense of Treehouse. Very cathartic performance for any EdParker fans there who may have been frustrated with how that bout went. But Treehouse is always dangerous. We see him going for a bit of a leg lock there. 30 seconds left. Vanio with a bit of stamina advantage does get the backside. Maybe even get some punches off here. But wow, I wouldn't be surprised to even see a 30-27 on the cards. Masterful defensive performance here by Vanio.
Just spectacular as we go here for 10 seconds, trying to rain down some strikes. And, from Treehouse, is he striking that bad? Like, I respect him for not giving up on the game plan. And you do see there, we don't see the judges' scorecards. I'd like to scream at the competitors for not letting that play out, because that would have been a very interesting one to see the scorecards on that one. Will they show it to us?
Yeah, but like you said,
we will see.
Treehouse, yeah, I'm sure he has some striking skill. He's in that octo camp. Some great strikers like Kratos in there to hone it up. But I think he's just too single-minded on the game plan. He could have definitely let his hands go a bit more. He was trying to mix it up with the takedown bails to the clinches, but limited in terms of wrestling offense from Charles Oliveira. So it would have been nice to see him let his hands go a bit more. But Vanio, talk about adapting from that first round where he just stuck to the mat. And it does look like he did drop that first round, but fantastic performance. And I'm sure that's going to get him lots of praise with Treehouse's style. Unfortunately, not endearing him to some of the Just Bleed fans in the audience.
I mean, it's interesting, right? From what I've seen there, I did just see before we cut away, it was a 29-28 win for Vanio. So that last round, you've got to kind of just let your hands go if you're Charles Oliveira there. Like, there's 2 minutes left on the clock, and you're still going for the same takedowns that are getting you in trouble. A big upset there in the terms of the ESFL channel points. Vanio winning there as a 25% favorite. Underdog, against a 75% favorite that was Treehouse. So very interesting, but I just thought he played a perfect game plan. And 4-0, he's got to be next, I would say. I don't know how the matchmakers want to do it in the back, but after a performance like that, really underdog win, shutting down all of the best tools that Treehouse had to offer. I think that was a beautiful performance, and he's definitely got to be considered for the winner of the next one. But as we talk about the next one, let's just show you guys what these guys are playing for this season. Oh, that there, look at that. That is spectacular. How I would love to wear one of those. Unfortunately, JKB V1 is just not at his pinnacle peak performance to win the ESFL title at the moment. Maybe one day I will win something as prestigious as that, but how beautiful is that there? These guys need to accumulate the most title defenses throughout the season. The current leader is on 1, and we are looking for the first title defense in the next matchup for Smudger, who needs to defend that. He will be on the same amount of title defenses as B3 Wavyy, so he needs to keep VuK away from him, and then, you know, who knows, Smudger could be wearing that title at the end. But, you know, Vanio, GOAT1099, Romero, Suave, Jamie, all them guys breathing down your neck. But halfway through the season, if you can start building an early lead now and getting them title defenses in, could be an interesting sweat at the end of the season. So let's get into the next one. NM Smudger taking on WR of VuK. And what can you tell us about this, Croden, in the big main event title fight this evening?
Yeah, big heavyweight matchup in terms of their records. 4-0 Smudger is the defending champion. Please bear with me as it appears JK may have dropped off there. But we have what remains of VuK at 4-1. Lightweight matchup. Smudger, with his 4 wins, he got them through the ESFL 152 victory over HostNinja. He defeated V-Pains at 154, as well as EdParker at 158. He got his title up against B3 Wavyy, who's currently the title belt, like in line to receive the belt with his 1 defense. And then Smudger, PS champion in prime time, as well as the self-proclaimed GOAT of that division. Well-rounded, calculated striking, and we see him as Islam Makhachev up against VuK's Tony Ferguson, which is quite an interesting pick.
Apologies for that one, ladies and gentlemen. I had a little bit of technical difficulties with my Discord crashing, so apologies if you just see some camera glitch there. But we are here in the main event with the title fight brought to you live by ESFL Gaming, the Esports Fight League. Absolutely brilliant main event we have here. We're seeing Tony Ferguson taking on this Makhachev pick, and it's just going to be an all-out war here for the title. And you know, it's going to be very interesting to see who takes this one. Will Smudger take it? Will T. Ferguson take it with VuK? It's going to be very interesting as we are here in half guard with VuK Gaming, and, you know, 5 rounds to work. These are the fights where you can really start to work the stamina, Kratos, and slow your opponent down.
Yeah, definitely 3 rounds versus 5 changes a lot, and both of these fighter picks will be good in the cardio department. We'll see how it goes with both gentlemen, great grapplers. VuK, he says he can fight off the back foot. He's a dominant wrestler with high-level jiu-jitsu, and he's calm under pressure, which will definitely need to be up against the likes of Smudger, who has great grappling and great hands to go along with that skill set. But so far, VuK on top, first half of round 1. Still a close round, but nice punch landed right there.
So we are back to the conversation of whoever does get the most title defenses does get the belt. If it is tied, they will fight at ESFL 175 to determine who gets the belt. So that would be very interesting if some of these guys are around 3 title defenses each coming into the end of the season, you know, and then we see them head off just for like a real title fight, like they'll both be on the same amount of title defenses and the winner actually takes the belt. So it'll be very interesting, and this is higher stakes matchup for both of these guys. Both of these guys will really want to win it. So far, so good for the challenger in VuK, doing some nice work against this Islam Makhachev pick.
For sure, just a minute left to go, and the round's pretty well in his favor, though. Not too much offense on either side still. You know, it could change, but it's a very good way to establish the rhythm in a 5-round fight, really impose your will. And we'll have to see whether Smudger tries to reverse, in the later rounds tries to impose some of his own grappling, or if his game plan will be to just use that striking advantage. I do believe he has, but at the same time, VuK has improved his striking since he first broke out onto the scene, so you cannot sleep on him. In terms of the fighter pick, you are a bit hard-pressed using Tony Ferguson. Not the most common high-level pick, but he's making it work so far, JK.
Yeah, making it work, been a very dominant round, and that's kind of what you want to do. In the title fight, you're the challenger, and you secure the first round. So important in this matchup. Does stand there, and with 2 strikes, probably unnecessary. But very good round, very dominant round. I quite like this font. I don't know how you get that font, but I quite like the font. It's very interesting. It's different. So very good round for the challenger. And you know, if we didn't see Islam get back to his feet there, it could be very interesting, Croden, if that could be the story of this fight. You know, he's gone Islam Makhachev to opt for the wrestling. He's been controlled for a round. Can he only do his best work on top? What's the thoughts behind this pick? Maybe didn't want to give his opponent Islam Makhachev, because we just see some really dominant grappling. And imagine if VuK Gaming had Islam Makhachev in that round, it'd be a even bigger advantage. So good, very interesting in all the psychological stuff that does lead up to these fights and how you end up in these sort of situations. But we do see there clinch into the tire whip, uppercut does land off of the chin for VuK Gaming. So far so good for the challenger, looking to join the list of current champions so far in the ESFL season. So far so good for him. But Smudger on the other hand also looking to defend his title and join Wavyy Pappy in the one defense category and really start to rack them title defenses up and take home that beautiful piece of gold.
A nice analysis there of the Islam Makhachev pick for Smudger. Definitely important to keep that pick out of the hands of VuK. Could be doing some serious damage. But like we mentioned with Suave Jamie's pick, he's very competent on the feet. Nice striking stats. So whether Smudger wants to keep it on the feet, as we just saw, he did take it to the ground. Very well equipped for whatever situation calls for.
I mean, yeah, it's very interesting. Like, if you're fighting Suave Jamie and you get first pick in lightweight, you can't let him have Islam. Like, you can't, because if he gets you in mount, gets you in side control, it's one of them. So maybe that might be Smudger's option. You do see their takedown there, trying to utilise that top game of Islam Makhachev, but we are back to the feet here. 2 minutes 20 left on the clock in round number 2. Capture the leg, opt in. Ooh, big spin elbow there from Tony Ferguson. Very upset we didn't get to see this matchup in real life, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. It would have been absolutely phenomenal. Not too sure it would have gone how this fight is going so far with the challenger, Tony Ferguson, doing a lot of the work.
It'll definitely be an interesting matchup. Their career trajectories unfortunately did not align. But interesting with Smudger's pre-fight style note, he did say a warning to his opponent, don't let me get your back. Will we see him try and go pull up the submissions against Tony Ferguson? It'll be bold, but so far a better round 2 for the champ, defending his belt than the first round.
So far so good, but the good thing about this matchup, we still have 3 more rounds after this minute to work for both of these guys, so you can always take a round off. That first round won't be too much, just a very good start for VuK in that first round, but we still have a lot of time left to go in this championship bout. Fake single there did register there for VuK, very nice. Tricky technique there, and I just feel like so far massive advantage, and the challenger has the champion rocked, and he does trip him, and we'll be looking at a 2-0 situation here. Obviously not too detrimental, but if you're looking at the head health advantage there for the challenger VuK Gaming against Smudger, you got to think he's going to be very confident going into these later rounds, Croden.
Definitely have to agree there. That was a key rock to seal the round absolutely in his favor. 2018 heading into the 3rd round of a title affair. And that's a lot of pressure on Smudger mounting. You know, as a champion, already you want to maintain your belt, but it's a very big occasion. And it's not going so well for him. We'll see again some of the highlights, some of the takedowns, though. The key moment there was that knee leading to that rock of the head. Now we're heading into round 3. We'll see if these two gentlemen touch things off. No glove touch, interestingly enough. Straight to business. Yeah, Smudger with the clinch attempt. Nice uppercut off the break there.
So fake single there, lead hook off of the block of Islam Makhachev. VuK Gaming has 2 rounds in the bag and a big uppercut into the overhand. He can almost smell the championship. He can almost smell that gold roll that so many of us has been competing for such a long time to achieve. And so far, so good. Ankle pick there. Bill for ankle picking members will be very happy about that one as he gets him down. And we're going to see now if this Islam Makhachev pick can be put to good use as he has him in side control. Nice full guard denial from Smudger there, but we are in sprawl up against the cage. This is a tough one. Do you deny the up? You don't deny the up because you're so worried about that side control. Sometimes you do have to just stand up from that position. And we're up against the cage, and a single leg high crotch slams him down on his head. And this is the tag of the first round all over again. If Smudger can't get up here, he's potentially going to be 3 rounds down and need to finish Kratos.
Yep, and it's not looking good for him, but still lots of time to work. Got about 15, rather 12 or so minutes left remaining in the fight, but Smudger hasn't been able to mount too much offense in terms of chipping away at VuK's health. And with Tony Ferguson, you have a pretty decent chin, especially the recovery. So it's can be dangerous, but VuK just patient in top mount, doing a couple of fakes, multitude of fakes actually, but he finally does just get almost the denial there.
So far, so good for Tony Ferguson. Postures up, jab into the elbow, gets that stun, goes into an armbar. This will be very impressive if he can get this sub off. Not sure how much it will affect that submission bar of Islam Makhachev with that high defense stat on the submissions. Will he get it? He does get it. It takes about a quarter, so you will need a couple more of them, but that will affect the block health of Smudger. And just so far so good for the challenger. Kratos just looking very dominant. Smudger gonna have to start getting a bit desperate in his escapes and into these later championship rounds, because if we finish the round here, it's going to be 3-0 for the challenger, and it's looking like a long way home for Smudger 03.
Yeah, I was wrong to question the Tony Ferguson pick. What remains of VuK, using Tony very well, showing that Ninja Turtle Michelangelo energy with the side control here. Already got one submission off, and some beautiful elbows landed here. Not looking good for Smudger. A minute left to go in the round, but steps into a submission here.
Now see that there, that is high level, ladies and gentlemen. He has hit him with the counter sub. He has ripped it round. He's going for the head and arm choke. If he gets this one, this could be all she wrote for the new, and it is your new ESFL champion, VuK. Take a bow, because that there, like I say in the shows I commentate, when you talk about performances of the night and the knockouts of the night, that right there, the high level counter submission finish is the finish of the night. When you talk about the best finish in the 5-round title fight, he has just hit the counter submission head and arm choke. Absolutely beautiful, just to secure the champion, and stops Smudger from leveling the title defense record.
Yep, and talk about a big win for the camp as well. What remains, getting their first champion with VuK, who's now moved up to 5-1, and now he's going to be entering that title defense race. See if he can't also secure the physical hardware. Now we see Dana White strapping on the beautiful UFC belt onto VuK's Tony Ferguson. Interesting matchups lay ahead. We have Vanio, but let's see the belt. Oh man, wow, just dominant performance at the highest of levels in the title fight. Definitely has to be considered for the accolades.
Absolutely beautiful performance, and a performance like that you could really watch every week, and rightfully so. He deserves that championship. He has done absolutely amazing there. Even with that T-Ferg pick, just a beautiful performance from VuK and a well-deserved title win there. But yeah, this PlayStation division is wide open. Just absolutely wide open. Only one title defense leads the way, and we are halfway through the season, so a lot of these guys will be licking their lips for the chance to win the belt and only defend it a couple of times. So it's going to be a very interesting running on the final day. It's feeling like a Premier League title race, Croden.
Yeah, for sure. We may see some people bottle it on the last day, like Arsenal unfortunately did, but we have some tough matchups ahead. While VuK did get the belt, we saw in the co-main event B3 Vanio moving up to 4-0 with a beautiful shutdown of the offensive wrestling of Treehouse, and that bodes well for his chances for up against VuK. How do you think they would match up there?
I mean, that's very interesting, right? What you mentioned there, you see Treehouse just attack, and for Vanio, that's beautiful prep. He's just he just beat the digital Gordon Ryan, so I'm not sure if he's going to be too worried about the takedown threat of VuK, but what VuK just did there to Smudger, and Smudger has gone Islam Makhachev. He said, don't let me get your back. He should have been more worried about his back, with a beautiful submission win there from VuK. So it's going to be very interesting in that running striker versus grappler matchup. What will be the weight class? What will be the picks? Very excited for that matchup, as I'm sure everyone else is.
Yeah, for sure, and we got some great names climbing up the rankings. It could be very dangerous for whoever holds the title. It'll be tough to remain the king of the hill for the rest of the season. Starting off tonight, we saw Kratos with a great win over Tech. Pug defeated Reaper. Suave Jamie with a nice performance, though a bit closer on the cards than we thought against Psycho Shark. Gotta mention Bravo dominating performance over Matador. Romero, the KO of the night. If I may give the honors to that beautiful uppercut that sent Verestyle's Max Holloway into the air like he was doing a backflip, aka Dave, with a nice dominant win in the women's weights over I'm the GOAT, HostNinja, great grin over Elite King, and then as we saw, GOAT1099 got the nice win over MG, and that brought us to our co-main and the main.
And the co-main and the main was just beautiful, beautiful performances from both of the respective winners, VuK and Vanio, and you know, very excited to make the debut here on the comms, and that fight there is something that I definitely want to be in the commentary booth for. Vanio versus VuK, you know, will we see the title change hands again, and then that one defense just still be remaining there? You know, and if you're looking at HostNinja, sorry, not HostNinja, you're looking at B3 Wavyy. B3 Wavy's just going to hope everyone just keeps changing the hands of the belt, and he's one wins it. So it's going to be very interesting that running. Some beautiful, beautiful performances this evening.
Very well. And then, so we already decided on a bit of a KO of the night. But in terms of fight of the night, did you have any considerations there, Jamie?
I believe.
Sorry, yeah.
I believe, yeah, KO of the night, we've got to be agreeing there that it was Romero, right, sending the backflip of Verestyle through the air. Maybe fight of the night, I would put it down to, I really like Vanio versus Treehouse. I believe, like, it wasn't one of them grueling ones. Like Suave Jamie versus Psycho Shark was a really grueling fight, but I just feel like the aspect of Vanio versus Treehouse really sold it to me. It's very interesting. Like, it was a very interesting fight to see how Vanio would deal with Treehouse, and for me, I feel like that was just a fight of the night because Treehouse really just kept going with that same style, and Vanio just kept at it and tried, after losing the first round, just really come back and locked in and really held strong till the end. And yeah, I think that was a very, very interesting fight to watch.
Definitely lots of tension there with the styles at clashing heads there. Do have to give an honorable mention for the early bout of Kratos as Leon Edwards up against Tech with Michael Venom Page. It came down to the final 10 seconds. But as you said, lots of bigger implications there with Vanio's masterful dismantling of Treehouse over 3 rounds.
Yep, I would agree. So we have been JQB Xbox One. Make sure to give me a follow on Twitter. You can check out the affiliate league of the NEC. If you're not quite good enough to compete in the ESFL gaming, you compete in the ESFL affiliate league, such as the NEC, and get noticed by the ESFL scouts. On the co-commentary booth with me this evening has been Croden, everybody's favourite moderator. Make sure to give him a follow as well at Pugilist Gaming. Did I say that right, Croden?
Pretty close, yeah. Pugilist Gaming. But thank you for the shout out. It's an honor to share the commentary booth here with both of our debuts on the ESFL. Thank you to the audience for having us, and what a great night of fights. Hats off to all the competitors for a smooth show. And thank you to all the production crew in the back.
Yeah, thank you to all the production crew, thank you to all the wranglers, thank you to all of the competitors that do show up and take their time out to compete on these big live shows for us. We will be back at the same time next week. I believe it's 2 p.m. Central for the return of the Xbox show. Will Fadinator defend his title there? Who will he be defending it against? Will be very interesting. And then back with maybe that Vanio versus VuK main event title fight the following week as the title running starts to come to an end. So brilliant show, and we wish you all have a blessed rest of your evening on this beautiful Sunday evening, and we'll hopefully see you very soon.
Take care.